All right. Everything's okay? John, check in? All right, beautiful. All right, we're all set up here, and welcome back, and good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the 2016 Scotties Tournament of Hearts at the beautiful Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax, Nova Scotia. We're going to be here watching the 4-0 Marianne Arsenault squad going against the 2-2 Emily Dwyer team, coming from the Mayflower Curling Club, and Arsenault's coming from the Dartmouth Curling Club. I'm your host, Martin Ohms, here on Bell Alliance TV1, and I'm joined by John Seitman here for this broadcast. How you doing, John?
Pretty good, Martin. Looks like it's going to be a great game. Arsenault has been curling well all week, and Team Dwyer has really been coming back after a slow start. Should make for a great game tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams have been very strong in this tournament. We're seeing right now as the lead, Laura Kennedy will draw in just behind the tee line there, as they'll be shooting the yellow stones while the Arsenault squad will have the blue. And Team Dwyer will have the hammer in this first end as we're going to get things going in. Since that draw went in behind the tee line, John, you're going to see probably Arsenault follow that one right down.
Yeah, it looks like she is going to start playing a little bit more offensive game. With it going behind the tee line, without the hammer, she can put a lot of pressure on by executing the perfect freeze right onto the button.
Now, as the lead, Jennifer Baxter will throw a second shot here. I'm going to use this opportunity. John, why don't you introduce this Marianne Arsenault team here?
Marianne Arsenault's team curls out of the Dartmouth Curling Club. Their lead is Jennifer Baxter. Their second is Jane Snyder. Their mate is Christina Black. And their skip is the 12-time Nova Scotia champion, Marianne Arsenault.
And right there, the lead, Baxter coming in with a very nice draw in. And it might be shot stone very close, but it looks like Emily Dwyer is just going to have her lead. Laura Kennedy follow that one down on the opposite side. Now, who's on that team with Laura Kennedy?
Okay, so Team Dwyer curls out the Mayflower Curling Club. Lead Laura Kennedy. Second, Mackenzie Proctor. Mate is Katrina Bowers, and the skip is Emily Dwyer.
Yeah, no, we'll have to keep an eye on that as it goes on. Both these two teams very strong. Arsenault's team is 4-0 with wins against Gamble, Pinckney, McAvoy, and Brothers, and they've been some very high-scoring games from Marianne Arsenault's side, where we have very tight games. Not a lot of rocks in play with Emily Dwyer, and they have a couple of nice wins. They defeated Teresa Breen and McAvoy, but then they lost to Colleen Jones and Jill Brothers in a game that they probably should have won that one.
Yeah. Emily's been having some very tight games, and Arsenault again as well was very high scoring. One of the other games that I was with earlier in the week, she ended up just getting a win 11-10 over McAvoy, very high scoring. The styles of these two teams are really going to make for it being very entertaining, and could be down right to the last shots in the 10th end.
Yeah, I really feel, though, if this game does open up quick, it might be fast, because Dwyer's team, once they get rocks in play, they like to keep adding. Same with Team Arsenault. And it's going to be those little mistakes on those takeouts probably that will make those difference.
Well, with the team Dwyer, with the fact that they all come from a very high level of juniors play, they are very used to playing an very high offensive game, and Team Arsenault, with the experience that they have of playing at the Scotties, they're able to play both styles of games, whether it's the draw style game or primarily hits. But it does seem as though there will be high offense right from the start of this match.
Yeah, definitely. As we had a good look there on Mackenzie Proctor, a player who can throw that really great up weight for Team Dwyer. She moves around all the stones in front of the house right there, and it will be a straight takeout coming in from Snyder. And they're up to sitting 2 after this hit and stick here. Maybe try to see if they can get a roll in behind their own guard. This one looks like it's going to come right onto the nose. And it's just going to replace that yellow stone, and Team Arsenault will sit 2 here midway through this first end. But most importantly, though, that for Team Dwyer, that front and middle is considerably wide open, though.
Yeah, there is a lot of options for Team Dwyer. If they're able to come in on the intern side, on the left-hand side of your screen, and just get a little bit of a roll there behind the guard that you just can't see from the angle that we have for you. If they're able to just get in behind, it could really tighten the scoring area to try to generate a possible steal for Team Arsenault, but not a problem, as she'll just go right on the nose.
So we're going to see that hitting game back and forth, these two teams go until one team will probably make a change. And in this case, it will probably have to be Team Dwyer, considering there's that rock on the top left of your screen. But of course, John, let us know what other games are going on here. There's 3 other sheets full of great action here, and you can also tune in on sheet number 3 as well and listen to Joel and Jim give the call on that one. But what games are going on as well?
There's some great action here tonight on a great Thursday night. On sheet number 2, Christy Gamble faces off against Colleen Jones. Of course, Colleen, the legendary multi-time Canadian champion, reuniting with a majority of her team. Of course, Marianne Arsenault was the other member of that team that won multiple Canadian titles. On sheet 3, our other feature game here on Bellline TV1, we have Jill Brothers facing off against Julie McAvoy. And on sheet number 5, Colleen Pinkney, the former world senior champion, facing off against Teresa Breen, last year's finalist.
And current leader in the CTRS points in Nova Scotia. So again, we have such a strong field here and so many accolades for each one of these teams here, as we're going to see Bowers come in, try to get that blue stone, making sure that they don't jam against their own one as well, and hold that line there. But it looks like it's just going to be a nice little hit and roll and getting almost buried, but it pops out a little bit out the other side.
Yeah, Team Dwyer would have really wanted about maybe half a rock less of a roll. Because of it being open, it does give a lot more of an opportunity for Marianne to get behind the guard and really put the Dwyer team under pressure going in skip stones.
Of course, if you want to keep up to date what's going on all the other 3 sheets, go over to nscurls.com, click on that up-to-date scoreboard, and you'll get to know what's going on all these games here this evening here at the Mayflower Curling Club, as they'll get a hit and it roll out the other way, but it does able to hit off that other Yellowstone in the back, so they still are able to sit 2 over on the left side.
Yeah, there could be a little bit of an out for the Dwyer team, because it looks like they are going to go for at least the hit, and on this side there could be the possibility at the double. It is pretty easy, just get on just off the middle of the stone on the right side, and it should go.
Well, this one's got to curl a little bit more. They're waiting on this one. Just an easy clean right now coming in from Proctor. And they're going to hit the angle, try to get the second one, and is it enough? Not enough. And the blue stone will hang around, but the yellow one will be most importantly a shot stone, but that will be most likely an easy takeout for Marianne here to remove.
Well, Marianne's been known for years for her hit game, often relying on it to win very big matchups. So I would definitely favor her on this type of a call, just going for a nose hit or even just a little bit of a roll behind cover.
Yeah, one nose hit would work as well, and so everything is setting up here for Arsenault to force Dwyer to pick up a single here, I would think.
She has the thing on her side that the stone for Team Arsenault, that the stone of hers on the back of the 12-foot is still completely buried. There's no way that they're going to be removing it unless they chose to run it back. But with the only two stones being Team Arsenault's in the house, it will definitely cause a possible force for Team Dwyer to have to take their single in the first end.
So really all Emily really can do right now is hit that one stone that Marianne just threw, try to see if they can get that one into cover in behind that guard, and hope that it's buried enough that Marianne will have to play a more difficult shot to remove it later.
Even if she rolls to where it's half open on that side, it's still it can make for a super difficult shot for Marianne. She doesn't even need Emily doesn't need to get behind cover, because if it's less weight and is open, maybe it could force Marianne to change her weight on her stone.
So we'll have to see. This team very young, but very they're not afraid to be able to slow a pace down on the game or be able to put up those aggressive shots. Does this Team Dwyer squad? And this one looks like it's just going to come right on the nose, unable to get that roll there. So it'll be just a replace here for Marianne, and she'll sit her deuce very likely after this shot and force Dwyer to draw in for the single.
Again, Emily definitely was not afraid on that shot to try for the roll. They've been known to be big game players over the years, having made the playoffs here at the Mayflower back in 2011 in the Canada Games. But bad luck for her there, as it just backed out a little bit at the very end.
So we're going to come to the final stones for each of the skips here on this first end here. Thank you all for tuning in this evening for the matchup, as we have a great crowd here on hand as well at the Curling Club. And it's only $5 for a single draw, $10 for when it comes to the plus, and $25 for the entire event pass. Great deal here for you guys to come out to the event if you are in the Halifax or Dartmouth area, to come right down here for this great tournament.
Definitely great value for your money. Again, come and watch some of the top teams, not just in Nova Scotia, but in the country. You have so many accomplished curlers all on the same sheet of ice here at the Mayflower. Not just in the women's side, but the men's side as well. Super accomplished. Makes for some great curling, and we hope that people come on out and watch.
So right here, it looks like Emily Dwyer's just going to be going for the hit and stick instead of going for the draw. Is it more of a comfort thing you would find when you have this type of call?
It's sort of, honestly, for me, if she just goes for her hit, she is just trying to play in a way that will go with her normal style. She is a little bit more of an upper weight hitter, being in juniors. Originally coming out of there, she may not have gone for the draw because of the no backing.
Yeah, no, and she is able to get that hit and roll this time. So she does pick up her single here after the first end at the 2016 Nova Scotia Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Emily Dwyer picks up one against Marianne Arsenault, and Arsenault will have the hammer coming down right back towards us in this second end of action here. Thank you all again for tuning in with this matchup here, as we're going to get things going off with the lead. It's Laura Kennedy for Team Dwyer, and we'll have to see how Marianne Arsenault will attack with the hammer. You've commentated a couple of our games already this tournament so far. What is their goal? What kind of style do they play here when they try to pick up multiple points with hammer?
Team Arsenault really has they like putting rocks in close. If they're able to force their opponents to go for the run backs or really tough doubles, they really have been able to use that to generate offense.
Yeah, it definitely has. But, of course, throughout this entire game, if you want to join in on the conversation, how do we do that, John?
You can chime in on Twitter using the hashtag NSCurl, and we'll take a look and try to read some comments from you. Send us your questions, comments, where you're tuning in from. We'd love to hear from you. Hashtag NSCurl on Twitter.
All right, thank you very much for that one, John, as we get a nice little draw come in here from Baxter. Trying to get some bear, but it's a little bit high, and it will fall in behind the tee line, and that's not exactly what they were looking for in that case.
Either way, though it does come out the other side, it could, depending on the shot from Team Dwyer, play a little bit of a factor in how Marianne plays the rest of the end. It could personally, I would hope that they're able to make the freeze right onto the button, and that could really put a lot of pressure and possibly generate a steal. Never know.
You never know. We've seen crazy things, especially with Team Dwyer. They've battled back this morning against McAvoy. They were down. They stole a couple points, and they were able to pick up that victory there. And that one will come in a little bit hot as well. And we'll just take a little bit of a bump and roll off the blue stone. So that's going to allow an opportunity here for Baxter on their second attempt here to try and turn around and come right on top of those two stones. And right now, it's those little mistakes that are really making a huge difference, and that's what it does in curling. A few centimeters makes all that difference, John.
Well, yes, it has always been known to be a game of inches and centimeters, and it just that little bit of distance as she went in to try to freeze on it changed the whole end completely.
So this one will fall in the top four, and we'll see Proctor trying to see if she can follow this one down. So a lot of rocks coming down on our right side of the ice right now, and Emily's going to switch this one up. She's going to come down the other side. They haven't had an opportunity to come down this side yet. Would it affect anything? Will Proctor maybe have to throw a little bit heavier?
Well, it is a new path. I have not played down that area most of the game, but they should have seen a little bit of it in practice before the game. And either way, even if she throws a little bit more weight, she does have the backing of the Arsenault stone at the back of the forefoot. And it shouldn't be a problem for her there, just going to the back of the button.
She goes right there to the back of the button. And right now, Arsenault has to start to think, do I have to start to remove some of these stones? Should I throw some up weight to try and just move everything around? Because you were telling me before the game, if there's one player who can throw this up weight, it is Jane Snyder.
Jane Snyder really has been excelling at the upper weight. It seems to make most of the big weight shots. She definitely can move a lot of granite around when she gets going with her stones.
So we'll have to see on this one. She's going to throw just a little bit down, maybe like board weight here, to try and see if she can come right on top of those stones and knock some stones around. But this one looks like it's a little bit light. So both sweepers are hard on this one, and this one might crash right into the guard. This one's very close, and it just squeezed by. Great line call there, but it's going to go off the second blue and roll off there. And that one just, as soon as she let that one go, it just kept going, diving towards the guards.
Fortunately for Team Arsenault, just looking at it there, their sweepers were really able to hold that stone. Even getting it that little bit further, they, in my opinion, probably have one of the better front teams for sweeping. One of their coaches, Carol McLean, out of who has helped them out of Dartmouth, really works hard with them on that, along with their coach, Peter Corkum, and it really does give them that little advantage during these big games.
A nice little shot there from Proctor. She's able to remove one of the blue backings and bump one blue stone in behind the tee line. So right now it's just a single stone for Dwyer, but she does have a couple of stones are sitting right around it, just in case there is a jam of any sort. So Team Dwyer sitting in a pretty decent position here. So we're going to have to see as it looks like Snyder will come down, try to figure out the shot here and talk it through what exactly the angles you want to be hitting on this shot.
From looking at it here, I think there could possibly be at least an angle double. If she hits it just right, there could be a triple. You sort of have to hit maybe a third to a thick half of the stone. You'll definitely get if you get the angle of the stone at the top of the 4 foot, you should be able to get at least 2 of them, but it's just where the other one rolls over.
All right, so we'll have to wait and see. As you do see that Yellowstone is wide openly accessed right there, so she is able to do an angle right off of that. It's just where everything falls right after, and we like to say that's where physics and angles come in. But we'll have to see what kind of weight she's going to be throwing this. Not much ice, so she's going to be probably throwing some upweight here to try and get this angle.
These provincial stones are extremely lively with this, the striking bands of stones. So if you throw the big weights, you will be able to get a lot of stones moving. And Christina Black really working hard on this.
Able to move around one end, gets the second one, so able to move everything, most importantly though, in behind the tee line, so it's pretty good, decent result there. Not the exact result they would have liked, but it's a good one.
Bit unfortunate, but it does move some stones around. If they're able to hit that stone of Team Arsenault at the top of the 4 foot,
and that's what they're going for right now.
They should be able to roll undercover and force Marianne at the end of this end to possibly have a tight draw to the button.
So we'll have to wait and see, though. Anything can still happen. There's still a few more shots here. Let's go in this end, and we've seen already a couple little misses so far, and they can prove a difference in the entire end, and this one's got to be swept hard. They got to hold the line here. Emily's right after that. Looks like they're good. No, they're going to bump on that guard, and where's everything going to split off to? One will fall out of play. The other one will fall out of play, and that one, well, it was right over on the right side. It's not out of play completely, but it's still biting, but it's not useful in any sort. But that one just kept diving it again. We've seen, you're saying these rocks are very lively. They're curling really fast.
And it's also the fact that the arena style ice that John Wall, the ice maker for this event, has put in. It runs extremely fast, lots of fast curl right at the very end, and that combined with the lively provincial rocks, it creates for a lot of movement on the stones.
And that really changed, as I was just mentioning, this tide at this end, as it now has the ability to run back this yellow one. Can they remove both the yellows, though? And they are able just to remove one, and it'll roll over on top of their other yellow stones. But Marion Arsenault's squad does sit too, but there's no backing, no guards up top, so we do have the potential for a double here.
Unfortunately for Team Arsenault, it does look like the angles are good enough for them to for Team Dwyer to get a double on those stones. But they will have the stone, which is currently sitting 4th shot at the back of the 8 foot, just right beside the yellow stone of Team Dwyer. So still not too bad a situation for Team Arsenault, but I've seen better.
Yeah, well, it's still early in the game. They can make the adjustments. I guess you can always say they're still learning this ice. There's 10 ends, plenty of time, though, right?
Yeah, 10 ends and 38 minutes per team of thinking time for this game. They definitely have a lot of time to just get used to those little pieces of the ice on all sides of it as they go through.
Whoa, and off. When they're on and off, you know you're close.
Oh, but
and this one, though, did it.
Just holds
and
out.
This one goes right in between the wickets and out the other side, and they're thinking it's getting closer. They're trying to waiting for that jump to finally curl, and it just never happened there. And that one went right in through, and this is a great opportunity But do they really have an open look at that Yellowstone? Maybe if you throw a nice and easy hack weight, maybe you can still get to that Yellowstone. And all of a sudden, Arsenault's sitting 4.
Yeah, there's 2 options. Either going just like you said about hack weight, maybe even just enough like a back line is just move the stone, a little bit of the stones around. You only have to tap that stone back about maybe 2 rocks just to get sitting 4. To me, I almost would think of going for like a little bit of a tap on your own at the top of the 4 foot, but
yeah, they tried to hold the line. Again, it seems like it's diving towards that center line very quickly, and both teams just haven't been able to pick up on it so far in this game, because he's right there is another great example. Is they try to get that one through. Able to get some great weight there, but it just overcurls, bums against their blue one. And we have a run back double opportunity, and all of a sudden, Team Dwyer could be setting 2 if they keep the shooter around.
But there is danger, though it does seem like a short run back double. It does have a little bit of an issue because it's not quite at the angle that you'd want it to guarantee. If you're the least bit outside, you may stuff it and leave Arsenault sitting 1, and that would leave a big opportunity for her to take out the stone of Team Dwyer's at the back 8, which is currently sitting 3rd shot, and sit a bundle. But we'll see what Emily is able to get here on her first.
Well, right now they need to curl a little bit more. They get 1, they get 2. Very nice double, and they are able to sit 2, and back and forth these 2 teams went, and we thought 1 second Arsenault could pick up multiple, and for a second you're thinking Dwyer could even pick up a steal. And right now, it looks like it might just be a hit and stick for a single. It's crazy how you have so many rocks, and all of a sudden you're only playing for 1 point.
Yeah, definitely. With a lot of these little shifts in momentum, we've seen it all week. Some of these wild games where you're having these sudden shifts throughout the game, and then little comebacks from either team, and makes for some great television for the viewers to watch.
Well, there you go. It's always interesting for the viewer when you have a bunch of rocks in play and teams start looking at all the different strategies. But we'll see. Just looks like a hit and maybe a little bit. You got to have to maybe a tiny bit of roll, because if you hit right on the nose, it might not even be shot.
It probably wouldn't be shot looking at the angle that we're at, but Marianne may go for almost like a roll over or set up the second shot, but it may even get.
And yeah, maybe they were trying for a double even there or something, but all of a sudden,
Marianne would definitely think of going for the double, because even if she loses the stone of hers right beside that, it would still put her in a good position.
Yeah, definitely will. So it looks like Emily's taking a look at another double here. Those 2 blue stones over on the left side of your screen. Maybe if she removes both of them and keeps the shooter around again, she'll be sitting 2 and maybe forcing a draw for 1 or a hit for 1. But again, that shooter keeping around for Marianne can be on that right side of the house, can be useful later on if all those 3 stones on the left disappear. It's an important shot here for Emily Dwyer.
So she's probably, if she hits right on the nose, she probably will, of course, keep her shooter. But the risk, if she is the least bit outside on the left side of your screen, is that maybe it may move around some of the stones and make Marianne's next one easier. But sweeper's just on and off, and
able to get 1 just enough the second, and that was some great weight thrown in from Emily Dwyer. And those are 2 great double takeouts. She got some great value with her 2 stones here in the second end.
Definitely good play from Emily. She's really stepping up, showing why she's been in these big games before and really excelled, forcing Marianne to the nose hit for a single in the second end.
Now, do you think it's a little too early? Because there is a double on both the Yellowstones there, and maybe said 2 here, but do you feel like maybe it's too early to go for that risky of a call?
Well, the risk in that one is that because it's so high up from the other one, the angle, you'll probably lose your shooter if you're the least bit off. If it were back about maybe half a rock, 3/4 of a rock back, then maybe it would be there, but I wouldn't think of playing a shot like that for a double.
All right. That's why we have you here to fill in for the color to help answer all those questions back at home, because everyone's probably wondering that same thing. So just a hit and stick, 4-1 for Marianne Arsenault, and she is able to get it no problem. So after 2 ends, a couple singles, we have this game tied at 1s at the 2016 Nova Scotia Scotties Tournament of Hearts here on Bell Line TV1. Martin Ohms drawn by John Seitman here, as the hammer will go right back to Emily Dwyer as we start out this third end. And we have some pretty crazy score lines and action going on the other three sheets, right, John? What's happening over there?
Well, over on sheet number 2, Christy Gamble takes a 2 in the second end to go up 2-0 on Colleen Jones. Christy Gamble, unfortunately, having a tough week. I think so far without a win, but definitely stepping up against the former Scotties champion. Jill Brothers is up 3-0 on Julie McAvoy in our other feature game on sheet number 3. And on sheet number 5, big score in the first end with Colleen Pinckney taking 4. Teresa Breen, last year's finalist, responding with a single. So 4-1 Pinckney after 2.
A couple big scorelines, a couple maybe a little surprising one, especially on the one on sheet number 5. But again, that's shows you the value of all strong 8 teams here. Anyone can beat anyone on any given day, and the game's not over yet. We've seen some crazy comebacks.
Yeah, like one example of that is definitely Jamie Murphy in the men's side. He's had some of these games where he's just crawled back with single point ends to get back in games, and he actually came back to win a few times in extras that way. So it does go to show it's not over till it's over.
Definitely not, as we have that opening draw come into the 8-foot to get things going, and it looks like Team Dwyer, you know what, they're going to be playing that hitting game here. They're not even going to try and draw in on this, play those corner guards. They're just going to start removing it.
Well, I suppose right now, with the fact that it is the third end, there's a lot more of an advantage of having the hammer and scoring in the even ends, being that these are 10-end games. Being able to keep it clean and have a chance to possibly score multiples in the even ends, it definitely gives a little bit of an advantage for Team Dwyer. But as long as Team Arsenault executes their shots like they should be able to keep the game tight. So
explain to me the advantage of scoring those points in those even ends. Why would you want to only score in those even?
Well, having the hammer in the even ends and scoring in those ends, you have, like, say in this case, they score, so the hammer goes to the other team in the fourth end, and in the 10-end game, you want to be able to, on the last rock in 10, having it belong to you and being able to have your fate in your own hands instead of having to watch as the other team throws with a chance to win for them.
And a couple nice little early takeouts coming in from Kennedy. She's getting a very nice roll over to the far side. She's been shooting excellently all tournament long.
Yeah, she has been playing extremely well. It is a really tight battle at all the positions, but Kennedy and Baxter have really been keeping the consistency and really leading their teams, no pun intended, here with the two leads.
No problem. And you've really seen that evolution of that lead role, where normally you wouldn't see the leads in the past doing a lot of those hitting games, and now you're starting to see they're having to play some of these hits here early.
Yeah, like the lead role is a lot more dynamic now with the use of the free guard zone, being able to get rocks in play. And one example in women's curling now is Lisa Weigel from Team Holman, revolutionizing the tick shot and that being used to generate a lot of offense while still keeping rocks in the free guard zone, opening it up. And it definitely shows that the role of the lead is definitely not the role to be taken lightly, even as much as the skip themselves.
No, they really set the pace for the entire end, as we saw a hit and roll out coming in from Proctor. So it's going to allow Team Arsenault another opportunity to figure out this draw weight and get a free draw into the house.
Yeah, just a free draw for Jane. Not much she needs to do with that.
Just most important, but again, this allows you more time to figure out when it comes down to the draws. You have the weight down, you know which way to come down, and it gives you a better understanding, I feel, more than Team Dwyer, who's having to play these takeouts.
Like there she was able to just get an idea for what top four weight is on that side. If she needs to use it later in the game, it does help to be able to know those little nuances about that side that Team Dwyer isn't able to get to see because of having to throw those takeouts.
Definitely, and they're going to have to go hard on this one to hold it. And it looks like they're just doing just enough to hold on to it. The shooter looks like it's going to roll out to the sides, but great job there coming in from Bowers and Kennedy, just holding it enough to be able to remove the blue stone. And like I've been saying, this Dwyer team, they know how to brush as well. They're one of the strongest teams, and it seems like they have everlasting energy when it comes to brushing these stones down the ice.
Yeah, these young teams are really good at really pounding pebble as they go there. And I honestly, in my opinion, even Team Arsenault really keeps up with them. With Baxter and Snyder when they're sweeping the back end of the team's stones.
We'll have to agree, and that's why we have these two teams in very good positions to make the playoffs. Reminder, only top 3 teams at the end of the round robin that will finish tomorrow will advance to that playoff championship bracket, where the top team will advance to the finals, and second and third will play against each other in a single elimination game.
And, of course, this is very critical as well for Team Arsenault, being that they are 4-0. If they get to at least 5-0, even if they lose the 2 after that, they would still guarantee at least a tiebreaker. But if they can win, if they can keep their roll going that they have been on, it could really solidify the bye to Sunday's final. And being defending champion, better to have your fate be determined in going through the round robin in first place and getting the chance to be in the final defending your title.
Well, they still have to get through this very strong Team Dwyer side.
Definitely. And
there's one other undefeated team as well in this tournament who would probably still like to put a word in on that circumstance you were just mentioning there as well. So again, another draw coming in from Team Arsenault as we're having that hit and take out game here on this third end. It's kind of funny. I always find that they make these shots look so easy out here on the ice when we have a very open end like this. But really, some of those takeouts and even the draws are very difficult here.
Well, the benefit is these ladies have been out on tour, curling a lot, getting to see these opportunities so many times that really it just becomes second nature to them. Even if it wouldn't be the type that the average club curler would try, no matter how simple it may be, it definitely is just what they're used to.
I'll have to agree. It's again just nice and easy, clean going out to that blue stone up top. And they'll save right on top of there, no problems. So Arsenault, if they are going to go after this Yellowstone, which they're going to maybe have to do a little bit of a roll, I would think, because that one looks, if they hit on the nose, maybe it's still just touching the rings.
of course, as I said, there Arsenault currently at 4-0. It is a big match. Should she win, that tomorrow she'll face the other team, which is currently at 4-0, down right now, Colleen Jones. They could be a battle of the former teammates with the chance to make Sunday's final.
It would be interesting. So that's what I've been saying. And then you can't forget about Team Brothers as well. They're fighting in there. And so, like I said, a lot of teams, Team Breen still, if they can battle back against Team Pinckney, they still have a chance as well. So a lot still to go here. There's only a couple of games left. So each one of these games is very important. Now, I'm not sure if that one's out touching the rings or not, but it looks like it might be. So Emily's going to go after that high blue stone. And we're very, very well on pace to have a blank end here. And Team Dwyer, they've had quite a few blank ends from when doing their games, and probably one of the very few teams that does. I've gone through, I think they're the only team I've had where I've had blank ends, actually.
Well, the benefit of these blank ends now is that they're banking a lot of thinking time. They just, as they just try to save that time there for the later ends. Sorry, got a little bit distracted there.
Yeah, a player there on Team Pinckney tripped, unfortunately, over a rock, and they're just going to fix that over. You were able to catch that on the bottom of your screen. Hopefully she looks okay, and play will progress as they're trying to figure out where that stone was placed. And sorry, you were saying about banking thinking time.
With the fact that you do want to have time at the very end of the game, should get a lot more rocks in play, a lot tougher strategy. You want to be able to have the time to be able to discuss the shots, because when you're discussing the shots, the clock's always ticking, and there have been a lot of games that I've seen this season that have almost been decided on not having enough time at the end of the game.
And keep in mind, both teams do have two 90-second timeouts as well to talk things over with their coach. When that one on their take, they're hoping for a little bit of roll to keep it in the rings, but it'll actually stay out in front and be a guard. So Marianne Arsenault is going to use that and try and draw in behind the yellow guard and force a very difficult shot from Emily Dwyer.
Yeah, if Marianne's just able to get fully behind the guard, it could really force Emily to make a pressure shot. Maybe it could force her to run her own stone back, which could, again, a lot of danger depending on where Marianne places this one. So, again,
well, we're saying hard line here. This one's really hard for line. This one's really breaking towards Baxter and Snyder trying to make this one by. They are by. Great job on the brush. Now get it buried, and you can maybe see about half of the bluestone sticking out. That one was a little bit of a light draw coming in from Marianne.
Yeah, unfortunately, Marianne was just that little bit lighter than what she needed. If she had just been able to get that little bit more to get fully behind the guard and a little bit more distance, it would make this shot from Emily a little bit more difficult.
Taking a look at the run back here, though, John.
Well, again, the run back, it would have been there either way, but it's the fact that it's so close, it makes it a lot easier for her, because maybe it's 3 or 4 feet run back compared to if they were able to put it at the back 4, get a lot more separation of the stones and make it a lot tougher.
The only question I'm wondering is just because maybe they could peel off that blue one and you would suffice and get your blank here instead of going to run back. Maybe they feel if they can get the run, their shooter will roll into the rings here, you think, John?
Now that I see that it's her last chance for that, it may, but I don't think so, really.
Well, we have hard on the sweep here. Gets the hit and trying to sweep their ones out of the rings, but it will hang around there.
The thing for Emily was that if she wanted to blank the end, she probably needed a lot more weight, probably like a peel type thing. Just
yeah, no, because I thought I could see that blue stone sticking out, so I'm wondering maybe they could have went in and went for the straight peel, but I guess maybe it was maybe it was buried enough for them not able to get it, and they didn't want to miss it. So it's going to be a pickup of 1, though, for Emily Dwyer. And you're here watching the 2016 Nova Scotia Scotties Tournament of Hearts here on Bellaline TV1. You're watching Sheet 4 action at the Mayflower Curling Club, and it's Emily Dwyer 2, Marianne Arsenault 1. As we're going to get action going right away here to start things out with Team Dwyer shooting first. Start to get things going on here in this 4th end. As I said, I was a little surprised to see that run back call just because I felt like that maybe there was the peel option there to get the blank.
You are right, because if they had gone for the straight pick, there wasn't the risk of having the jam like what happened there. If they had just gone right in and picked the stone out, it would have made the chance for error a little bit less. But again, you never know. The 2 stones were so close.
So you had the usual draw to start things off.
I guess quick little update while we have a chance of the games on 3 and 5 that just finished up third end. McAvoy scoring a single in 3, still down 3-1 to Jill Brothers. That is our other feature game here on Bellaline TV1. And on sheet number 5, Colleen Pinckney takes a single with the hammer, up 5-1 on Teresa Breen. Last year's finalist in a lot of trouble right now, playing the 4th end right beside us.
All right, thank you very much for those updates, John. As Marianne will switch things up here with the hammer. She's going to play the usual corner guard game. And Kendi on our first one will throw that in the rings, and possibly will do the same on her second shot with just a single sweeper with Proctor.
Also, I just saw there quick update for the game on 2. Big steal of 1 for Christy Gamble, up 3-0 on Colleen Jones. That is a potential big upset should Gamble keep the momentum, but of course never count out Colleen Jones. But down 3-0 after 3, it's going to be tough.
So
as we get back to feature game.
Yeah, not too sure what happened with Bowers. Maybe just a quick change on the equipment. So just a single sweeper, because having 2 there might have helped them get this one nicely covering their shot in the rings. But it came up just a little bit short, so Marianne will remove that yellow stone, though.
Well, now we've seen this year in the top level curling of the theory of having the ability to have the 1 sweeper be almost as effective as the other 2, as the traditional 2 sweeper system. Like Brad Gushu has really been revolutionizing it, and a lot of the men's teams have really picked it up. Team Arsenault I've seen earlier in the tournament has done really well with that type of a system. But again, having 1 sweeper for your when you're still down on weight is very tough.
It definitely is. Again, Team Dwyer looks like they're maybe putting a central guard here to protect their 1 stone. So trying to close up the middle a little bit. This one is just going to curl a little bit more, though. And it's going to go right on top of that blue guard over on the right side.
Unfortunately, they really wanted to be a little bit more over, because it does open up the shot at the stone on the back of the button. So a little bit of a miss there.
So that will probably leave an open attempt here for Snyder to go after that yellow stone. Just waiting for this one to come in a little bit more. Got to get over the center line. You're starting to see a lot of teams are adapting the directional sweeping and trying to see if they can help that one get over, as that one's going to hit and roll all the way out to the back of the 12-foot.
Unfortunately, Jennifer just wasn't able to hold it there, trying to get it to curl, to get behind the guard, just rolling the other way. To where it is, it's still behind cover, but really at back of the 12-foot, not really.
There's so much space there.
So much space.
Yeah. So Dwyer is back, so Bowers will come back to help out on the sweeping, as both girls will jump on this one and try to see if they can hold the line here. Gets it by the guard, just narrowly. So great job on the sweeping, great call on the line, and they are able to remove that stone.
Yeah, Marianne looks like she's just going to try to come around. Again, that's the discipline that she has, that being a veteran player, just being able to ignore that stone at the back and set up the shots for later in the game, because sometimes some people would think, again, why isn't she going trying to take out the stone there? But she's thinking 2 or 3 shots ahead.
And in order to pick up your deuce here, you got to have some rocks in the rings, but this one's going to come up really light, and that's just going to end up being a central guard instead. They really try to hustle him, but a light shot there from Snyder, and that's going to allow an opportunity now for Team Dwyer to try and draw in around all those guards.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic miss from Jane, and that does give an opportunity for Team Dwyer to come into the house behind cover and really put a lot of pressure on Team Arsenault to try to generate a multiple point, and they don't really want to take a single if they don't have to.
Yeah, Bowers coming out the other side than what Snyder just went on, so maybe they realize something is a little bit weird from the inside out to the outside. But this one, again, this one's going to have to be swept hard. Can they get this one by? This one's really close, and it's just going to take a tiny little bit, but it'll roll over, but it'll fall into the open, and that one there, again, just seemed to get away and just have some hard curling right there.
It definitely makes a little bit of the shot a lot more difficult, because either she has the option that she could just draw around, or maybe in the case that looks like what Marianne wants to do, she wants to hit and roll, and Christina is really the type of player that I could really see her making this shot well and forcing Team Dwyer to have to open up the front and shut down the end a little bit.
Just trying to get the hit in the roll here off that Yellowstone. They get the hit and then a little bit of a roll. Will it poke out the other side? It looks like it might have.
I believe it did, so it gives the opportunity for Emily that if she wants to have her mate, Katrina Bowers, just hit and roll the other way,
you gotta make sure. You gotta make sure that you avoid that jam on your own Yellowstone if you want that roll, though.
Either way, it does create a lot of pressure, being the fact that you will be sitting 2 with one stone biting. Hopefully, even if it hits nose, it will bite the edge of the button. It does create some issues for Marianne this end.
Well, it's going to go exactly as you called it, right on the edge of the button on that nose hit coming from Bowers. And it's going to be decision time now for Arsenault. She's going to just follow that one down, do the same shot, and hope to get the roll.
If she does the same shot, even getting a little bit of the inside roll, it could be possible to get the double and roll in behind cover, which it would actually be a really good shot for Marianne's team. Jane really working hard on this one.
Yeah, this one, she's going to have to work really hard to hold this one. Doing a great job, though.
Again, there is that
yeah, but
the inside sweeper there, just getting,
and
just
this one's going to be too much there, and it's going to go all the way. It's still biting, though, on the back 12, but the most importantly is the shot stone is Dwyer, and she has an opportunity to draw for 2 here.
Yeah, just a little bit of an issue with a little bit of the weight, just trying to get it to hold, get the double, just rolling too far.
Well, we've had many shots already just cut in so quickly coming from the left side of the ice and coming towards the middle. It's really just been breaking so quickly. And both teams have had a little bit of struggles trying to hold it.
It will be very important for Emily to position this stone hopefully behind. If she's drawing this way, she'll draw behind cover. Try to tighten down the area for Team Arsenault to try to get to. And then if she's able to do that, it could manufacture a lot of offense and make it difficult for Marianne. Sweeper's just dusting it off a little bit, maybe a little bit heavier.
Yeah, this one's looking a little bit heavy, but it's starting to dig in and looking to get that little finish there. And will just come on a piece of the pin right there. And you know what? If we had the $1 million shot, she would win the car.
Well, it still does look like the majority of it is still open. Marianne will probably try to tighten up the ice a little bit and go a little hair more weight. Try to get to the face of that stone. A little roll will be a bonus, personally, if I were the one throwing it. But again, I'm not the one throwing it. Marianne's the one out there in the hack ready to throw.
Yeah, she is. So she's going to have to do a nice little, not too heavy weight here, but just bump enough of that Yellowstone back. And her first of 2 stones does have the hammer here in 4.
So
just leave it right now. This one's hanging out there. And we've seen a lot of curl coming in from that angle, and this one's not moving as much as it is, but it's starting to come in now. And that's going to bump it back. And it will be shot stone for Arsenault, but that blue stone is, again, it's very accessible, and they can be able to remove it and still sit there too here if they just pick it out.
If Emily's able to do exactly like she was just showing to Katrina, to hit and roll almost to where it's parallel to her own on the tee line, it almost forces Marianne on her last to draw the pin with little to no backing, which is not the type of shot that you want to have. You want the easier shot in the end, and Team Dwyer really forcing Marianne to have to make the big shot in the end.
This is an important one. Got to make sure you would avoid that jam on the back of your Yellowstones right there. If they can remove this away, again, we might be forced to another single here for Arsenault if things go to plan. But first, it's got to be Dwyer who's got to make this shot. Just an easy clean right now. Now they're jumping hard on it. Oh, Bowers is calling them off of it. They get it, just tacks a little bit on the Yellowstone, but it does do the job, and they are still sitting 2. And is there a way to remove both Yellowstones here, John?
There is, just barely, but I don't think that Marianne will want to throw it, considering the fact that she may lose her shooter. It would be very. I really don't know. It is very tough, makeable, and who would you want more throwing it than somebody like Marianne with all the experience that she has?
So I'll have to see. Maybe she's going for the hit and the stick for 1, or go for the double here. We'll have to wait and see. If she does pull out the double, she's saying 2. And who knows if that one on the very top is even touching as well. It doesn't look like it, but you know what? Like we said, camera angles are deceiving, so it could even be 3 for all we know. But they got to still remove these 2 Yellowstones, or just 1 for the single.
Yeah, I think even with the camera angles, these rings are pretty exact. So I don't think that one will play a factor. But we'll have to see what happens now.
This one really needing to come in a little bit.
Will she get enough?
Yeah, she's just going to get one and a little bit of a roll, and it rolls too far.
Steal.
And a steal of one for Emily Dwyer here on sheet number 4, and she'll increase her lead now to 3-1 over Marianne Arsenault here at the Mayflower Current Club in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Thank you very much for everyone who's tuned in here on Bellline TV1. Martin Ohms joined by John Simon here for this match, as we're having Marianne Arsenault trying to see if she can hold on to her undefeated record going against this up-and-coming Dwyer squad, who has a very good chance of still cracking and getting that playoff spot. And if they continue the way they're playing, I could see them as one of those 3 teams.
Yeah, Emily still does have a lot of work to do, considering the fact that I believe she is 2-2, and she is, of course, still facing this strong defending champion team. Tomorrow she does have two lower ranked teams right now in Team Gamble and Team Pinckney. Both teams are currently up in their matchups. So it could, if Team Dwyer is able to get on a little bit of a run, it could really solidify a possibility at the playoffs.
So we'll have to wait and see. They still have to win this one, but again, just a normal draw in for Kennedy, and the corner guard going to be played by Arsenault. So we're going to see probably exactly the same way these two teams played last end here, just barring those mistakes.
Well, with the steal now, Marianne will really want to set up some guards, try to get a chance to generate enough offense to at least score 2. If she's able to score more than that, it'll just be a bonus.
Yeah, so it is big if she is able to pick up her deuce going in the break. That's a little bit of a momentum and positivity going in when you get into your huddle and talk strategy with your coach.
Yeah, especially with the fact that if you're able to score a big end going into the 5th end break, it gives you the mental edge of the now I have to sit for the 5 minutes that we would have in the 5th end break, and just it definitely eats at you, and really it could cause some changes mentally as the game goes on. So a big opportunity should they be able to score a multiple point, and Team Arsenault
and
could
same with Dwyer. If they're able to steal one again here, that couldn't really change the momentum, as the guard's going to be played on the shot in the rings. And hoping for just a little finish there to make sure it's buried. And it's a nice little guard there. I'm not sure if there's any way of getting to that Yellowstone right now. But Marianne's just going to ignore that right now. So it looks like we could be on set to have a lot of rocks in play. But of course, you can always join in on the discussion. How do we join in on the discussion, John?
They can join in on the discussion on Twitter using the hashtag NSCurl. Send us your questions, comments, where you're tuning in from. We'd love to hear from you. Hashtag NSCurl on Twitter.
All right, so it looks like on the shot here, Baxter trying to get around her guard and get this one buried as well. And this is going to come in nicely, just looking for that finish. It's going to come in behind the tee. But it does get buried, but like we said, it does come in behind the tee line. And will we see Dwyer just follow this one down or remove the guard? And it looks like she might be removing the guard or going after the one in the house. What do you think? I think it's the guard here.
I think she's just trying to remove the guard because it's more risky for Emily to leave that one there, because it could give Marianne the opportunity to come back through it, and it gives more protection considering the fact that it is the shot stone. But now she'll just keep putting it up to try to generate a potential deuce. But the positioning of replacing the guard is very important on this next one.
Yeah, like you said, the positioning on this guard is very true, because if it is open and they are able to get to the one in the house. Team Dwyer will go after that one, so this guard has to be positioned very nicely from Snyder, and they're hard on this one. Both of them trying to take this one hold this line here. Got to curl a little bit here. Both sweepers are on it just a little bit for weight now for the finish. Don't want it to over curl.
And it looks still pretty good.
I think
maybe a little bit open.
Yeah, I think you could see maybe about half of the stone here, so I won't be surprised with someone like Proctor who can throw that nice weight coming down and remove that blue stone in the house. That seems to be the call here from Emily, because I could see from my point of view, I see about half of it. And if you're coming in on the angle they want to come in, you should be able to.
I see exactly where you're looking.
Yeah, I'm pretty much standing right straight ahead. So yeah, I think they're gonna go after this one, and they're set up to take that one out.
Again, the big key to this one is weight control. Not wanting to jam on the guard, especially with the movement right off center. It looks like it will get by.
Really breaking.
And it will not.
Yeah, it's going to go right off that guard and mess up their own guard as well.
The question now, does Marianne make a play into the forefoot? Because with that positioning, if she puts the guard back up to protect her stone inside the house, it could block the way for a draw later in the end to possibly save.
Well, it looks like they're going to go after the Yellowstone in the house right here, as the guard has left that stone exposed. And again, they got to hold on to this one. It looks like they're by, though. Just an extra, just to make sure. And this one just gets by the guard, and they're able to get right onto the nose. Great call on the line there, as they're just sitting that one perfectly. And right now, Arsenault's sitting 2 here, and they're well on their way if this play continues to pick up 2.
Quick update, a shocker currently going down on sheet number 2. Steal of 2 for Christy Gamble, up 5-zip on Colleen Jones. Colleen Jones, again, an undefeated team, the only other undefeated team along with Marianne. Could be an upset in the making.
All right, so we'll stay tuned on that one, as Bowers will come down, try to hit and roll really hard. They want to get that roll in here. Make sure they don't lose the shooter, and they're going to get the roll. How far is this one going to roll? And it's going to go all the way to the back 12 foot, 4-second shot. And that's going to allow an opportunity now for Arsenault. I would think they would draw in here.
The big question is, do you want to draw around, or in the case that she's just showing now, split the house a little bit, force Emily to take a look at the shot positioning, try to really cause some thoughts on what to do next.
Yeah, but they got to make sure though that it is ahead of the Yellowstone here, even though they are splitting it. This one's got a little bit of weight to it though.
It's probably going to just go into the back 8, back 12.
No, this is back 12. If not out, this one's going real fast. Again, and that one goes all the way to the back line. And that's a missed opportunity there on that draw. And that's going to leave an opportunity for Dwyer to go right after that open bluestone and try to set 2 themselves now. And that shows, like I said, back and forth. If you get that momentum, the other team will try to capitalize it right off the bat.
The big problem now is that with the positioning that Team Arsenault has at the top of the 8 foot, it does force them to really be precise with the weight, as you can see with the sweepers trying to go hard to hold it, and it will just hold enough to roll behind the guard, just poking out.
Yeah, and they try to hold the line there, but it does jam against their own Yellowstone in the back of the 12 foot, and the shot stone will be Dwyer here. And it is pretty nicely. You can see maybe about a quarter of the rock, but that's enough for Arsenault to go after the Yellowstone. And right back and forth, a couple of mistakes from both sides, and we're back to where we pretty much were 2 shots ago.
if Marianne's able to just get to that stone, or even it looks like she is going to draw around, maybe set up for later.
Yeah, a little change on the call there, like you noticed. Yeah. So at first they were going for that hit, and then they changed this call to this draw. What do you think about this, John?
Personally, for me, being that you have Christina, who's really good at her hits, to change the shot to go to the draw, which she's had a little bit of trouble on, it's a bit surprising for me.
Okay, so we'll have to see, though, where can they get this one?
Working
through
hard.
This one's working hard. It looks like it might just get ahead of the Yellowstone.
And just enough, it looks like. Right there, yeah.
Yeah, just enough for the shot stone for Arsenault. And now Dwyer's going to take a look at it, trying to see if maybe they can follow this one down, put a little bit of soft weight, and bump it back. Maybe they can get up to that blue stone. Or do they want to draw it in themselves? Those are a couple different options, but they're going to go after that blue stone that is thrown.
Again, the big key to this one is weight control, because being that though it does, the majority of it is open, it is around that center line, and we have seen a lot of stones really cut as the weight comes down closer to the center. So you really need to be right on. But again, Emily should have been throwing these before, so I guess.
Well, she's very strong on these type of takeouts, and she's been throwing them already a few times this game, so she shouldn't have too many issues here. But at first, it is Katrina Bowers on this one here. Whoa, off this one, just need to curl just a little bit more. And they're able to get a very nice soft weight. Able to get the roll off as well, but they are able to remove that blue stone that was shot stone. Nice little play there from Team Dwyer, and now Arsenault's got to realize, what are we going to do here? And looks like they're just going to have to draw in it once again.
It could also be with our camera angle, it is it may be a little bit closer than we think. I still think that probably Dwyer is still sitting one, but it could be close with that stone at the back of the 8-foot. So if Marianne's going around, maybe she thinks that stone could be shot. Well, let's see.
Well, you know what? They'll continue to play the end whatever the way they can, and let's see. As we're getting down to the final shots here, is Marianne Arsenault with hers. Her first to 2.
Snyder and Baxter really working hard on this one, trying to place it perfect.
Yeah, they need to curl a little bit more, though. And now it's starting to go.
And there's the one sweeper system of Jennifer Baxter sweeping right there to the back of the 4-foot, sitting shot stone.
So now Dwyer's gonna take a look, trying to see. Yeah, I would think I would probably do the same here if I was at Dwyer. There is the option. They're saying you have the double here, or you can draw in on top. And I like the draw call in this circumstance, because since that rock isn't behind that tee line, you can follow that one down, I would think, John.
She does have to be careful, because, again, we don't know which one is playing a factor between the two stones in the 8-foot. So if you're the least bit outside, and it giving the opportunity to Marianne, it could create a potential hit. So it may look like a simple shot to put pressure on, but it is a lot more than you may think.
So it has to be a very precise shot here in order to see, because if she does get this one very nicely, we could be seeing another steal of one for all we know here in this end. But if she does go a little bit high here, it could go advantage right back to Arsenault.
Sweeper's working really hard on this, trying to get by.
They gotta get by. They get first one.
It's by a second.
Great line call here. Gets right up to the blue stone and gets a little bit of a bump
shot.
there. Great shot there. Great line call. That one just, you could maybe fit a couple pieces of paper in between that, but not much more.
Yeah, that was just perfect sweeping from the front end of Team Dwyer. It will force Marianne now that she will really have to follow Emily's shot down. Maybe push it back and have enough to put the other two stones into question.
Yep. So she could, if she does hit this nicely enough, she could even sit 2 here. Yeah, there's that possibility. But first, she has to drop, follow that one down, avoid those guards, and get to that piece of the button.
She is throwing a little bit of a tighter line than what I think we saw earlier in the game. She is probably going to go a little bit slightly upper weight, just a heavier draw. Snyder and Baxter working hard on this one.
Line's good. They're saying T-line.
Looks
hard.
Good.
They really got to take this one. Just try to get in. Will it be enough? And it looks like there is. It looks like it's good. They're just going to take a look. And it looks like it is the pickup of one. So we're going to go into the break with Marianne Arsenault picking up her single with Team Dwyer with that huge steal in the fourth, up 3-2 over Marianne Arsenault here at the 2016 Nova Scotia Scotties Tournament of Hearts here on Bellline TV1. This is Martin Holmes, joined by John Seitman. We're going to have about a 5-minute break, so enjoy yourselves a little bit of a late dinner or a late little snack, and we'll see you guys in just a few moments. Good. All right, awesome. And welcome back, everyone, to the 2016 Nova Scotia Scotties Tournament of Hearts here on Bell Alliance TV1. You're here on sheet number 4 at the beautiful Mayflower Curling Club here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, for this match between Marianne Arsenault and Emily Dwyer. And Emily Dwyer, this 2-2 team, they're up by 1 against a very strong Marianne Arsenault team, John. And really, was this the first half you were expecting between these two teams?
I really was expecting a tight match as it was. The steal in 4 was pretty critical for Emily to keep the momentum up, and holding Marianne to 1 in the last end really changes the approach that Marianne will have to have for the second half of the game. Really gonna have to play more offensive to try to get the 2 points that she needs to get back in the lead.
So yeah, so she doesn't have hammer here. Dwyer does have hammer and up by 1 here as we get things going away here in this 6th end of action. Now we have Emily Dwyer's lead, Laura Kennedy set up. And just we got to reintroduce these teams right now, John. Let me know who's on this Dwyer team, who's 2-2 in the standings with the wins against Breen and McAvoy, and their 2 losses against Jones and Brothers, all very tight games.
So again, Team Dwyer's lead is Laura Kennedy. Their second is Mackenzie Proctor. Their third is Katrina Bowers, and the skip is Emily Dwyer.
All right, there you go. So here comes Kennedy's draw coming in right in, trying to see if they can get in around that guard. Just a little bit more oomph, and they're going to get that nice little finish right there and get it very nicely buried. And Kennedy's been doing that all tournament long, just setting this Team Dwyer up for a very strong end.
Yeah, Laura's been really consistent throughout the week, really setting up well for Emily and keeping Team Dwyer in these very tight games. They've had a few come to last rocks all the way in extra ends, so to have a lead set up as well as she has, it definitely is a great confidence booster for the skip.
So here is Jennifer Baxter with her second shot, and she's getting some help from her sweepers. Who's on that rest of the team there, John?
Again, the defending champions, Team Arsenault out of the Dartmouth Curling Club. Their lead, Jennifer Baxter. Their second, Jane Snyder. Their third, Christina Black. And the skip, 12-time Nova Scotia champion, Marianne Arsenault.
And they're coming in with a very impressive record so far, with wins against Gamble, Pinckney, McAvoy, and the important win against Brothers this morning. And both teams are back in action, of course, tomorrow at noon, where first Dwyer's got to be going against Christy Gamble, and Arsenault is going to be going against the very tough Colleen Jones, as we're going to have a draw attempt coming in from Kennedy, as we saw Baxter on her second time trying to get it around, crash against her own guard. And this one popped out a little bit out wide, and right there, Dwyer's just saying, okay, let's just bring this back as far as we can, and trying to come. It was the best of a poor situation, really, you can normally say.
Yeah, it's very difficult because of the little bit more weight than what she had hoped. So to get it to where it is now, it does give a little bit of an opportunity, but too early to see yet.
Yeah, of course, you can keep up to date on all 4 sheets going on here. We have 3 other amazing games going on. You can even tune into sheet number 3 to go with Jim and Joel to give you that call between Brothers and McAvoy over there, as they're sweeping really hard on Snyder Stone to get this one by. They are able to get it by the guards, and it's just a hit and a stick there. But, of course, you can also go to nscurl.com, keep up to date on all 3 sheets, or we'll give you constant updates here and there as they progress. So it looks like since that stone is behind and second shove, Dwyer's just going to ignore that. And it looks like they're going to draw another one in here with Proctor.
She may take the opportunity to almost draw right onto the nose of the stone of Marianne's just in the back 8, because with it sitting second with it sitting second shot and her stone sitting shot stone, if she's able to get it just perfect, it could really set up for a big end for this 6th end of play.
And that one is a very beautiful draw right onto the pin. And right now you're starting to think, if you're Arsenault, those guards you have out on top, they're kind of in your own way right now. But maybe looks like they're maybe going to try and run these back here.
Yeah, I could easily see that as long as you hit maybe just about a third of the rock on the side with Marianne's broom, she should at least get the second shot stone out. I don't know whether the stone right on the button will get out or jam, but we'll see. Just gets one.
It gets one, but that's the important thing. And a nice little rollover as well, as it comes over and covers up their stone in the back of the house. So again, Dwyer's just going to ignore that draw, another one in on top, and hope to sit this one maybe on top 4, I would think.
Yeah, if she's just able to come around to the top 4, it will make the guards really problematic for Marianne. So here we go with the stone from Team Dwyer. Just looks close, but maybe a little bit outside.
Yeah,
where
it's
she wanted.
definitely outside. This one was way outside by a good few feet and a little bit heavy. And like we said, a little bit of extra weight really makes a difference when it comes to the curl here on championship ice. Because what's the difference really, John, when you're coming in on tournament ice like this one and club ice?
Well, it really all comes down to the different conditions that they put out in the ice shed. John Wall's been doing a great job all week. They brought him in really because over the past few years they've had a little bit of an issue with trying to get conditions that really help that our winners here in Nova Scotia compete really good nationally at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts, and being able to have these conditions that really they curl really fast, and it's hard to describe.
Yeah, it's always a hard adjustment for a lot of these players coming in because they're not used to as much curl as they're getting here on this ice. And that one, again, coming in and crashes on top of the guard. And Dwyer's going to have another opportunity here on this draw, this time with the Bowers, to try and see if they should get through that port on the top 2 guards and sit for second shot.
And again, on the topic of arena ice, Marianne's probably one of the most experienced, other than Colleen, when it comes to arena ice, because of just recently her team played back in the Grand Slam of curling event in Truro, and had a good showing on the arena ice conditions. So she definitely has the advantage of the experience on the fast arena ice.
Yeah, but that one didn't curl enough for Bowers right there, and she hits off of that top guards, and we're getting a lot of rocks there on top. And Arsenault's just going to have to take a look here because, most importantly, there is that one shot stone coming in from Proctor, but she does have a run back here, I would think, on the rock on the center line.
Yeah, she probably just has to get back to hit that stone right on the nose to run it back, and she'll probably avoid the jam at the back, maybe sit 3 if she gets it perfect. And with the hitting ability, who would you want better throwing that run back than Christina Black?
Hard on the line here. They're going to come right up to that nose. Now, where's it going to go? Is it going to get it? It took a little deflection off the guard and a couple little bumps, and it will fall right on top of the yellow one. And just that little extra hit off, it made it hit off that yellow guard, and it took a nice little fortunate bounce off the rock on the left side and rolls around top of the yellow stone, and that bun's completely covered, John.
Yeah, it isn't too bad for Marianne, but it does make Emily have to think of the placement of the stone as they call a time.
Yeah, I would use one of your 2 timeouts here. So both teams have 2 90-second timeouts. So the coach, Mark Brophy, will come out and chat with the team because this one is an important shot depending where you place it. Because if that stone gets removed, all of a sudden Arsenault could be pulling up a very multiple point end here because of all the blue stones she also has in the house.
Yeah, the danger of where you would have to go is where to protect the stone that you have. Being up one with the hammer, you don't want to move it around to where Arsenault could hit out the stone of Team Dwyer's on the button. and you also don't want to give another opportunity at a run back on that center line. So again,
there is that angle over on that right side of your screen, and there is that run back. So there's two different options. So now the question is, which one do they cover? I think that's the question they have right now. Which shot do they want to leave Christina Black and Marianne Arsenault with when it comes down to their shots?
Personally, if I were Emily, I would probably try to attempt to curl one around the two of Marianne's to the top 8, because the more the more simple shot would be the straight run back of the stone at center line.
So drawing it around behind those two top guards and get it around top 8 is what you're saying.
Yeah, right at the top of the big credit union logo in the 8-foot.
Yep, I understand exactly what you're saying. So viewers at home, so he's saying come out through on that left side of the ice, drawing it around, and put a yellow rock in between those two top blues and the blue on the button.
There's also potential that you could do the same type of thing of moving the guard around, but it looks like that's putting the stone right there is where she wants to do.
Yeah, well, actually, instead of putting it just on the top 8, drawing it around there, it looks like they want to have it a little bit out, so they have an opportunity to run back themselves, it seems like. So it looks like they're just going to get it on the left side of the center line here, but on the top 8, like you were saying. But of course, throughout this entire event, if you are in the Halifax, Dartmouth area, come out to the curling club. It's just $5 for a single game pass here with a great curling going on here, and $10 for the playoffs, for $25 for the rest of the event. So make sure to come out here to the Mayflower Curling Club. Great events here, great food, great drinks. Everything's beautiful here in Halifax, and a great crowd here. And you can see here in the background there, and there's so many people there that a lot of people are forced to stand as all the seats pretty much here are taken. So it just shows you get here and get here early. And parking is also a premium here. It's free, unlike Ontario, but it's still hard to come by.
Yeah, it's a packed house here on a Thursday night as all these teams are in big matches tonight, with the opportunity to go on to the Scotties Tournament of Hearts next month in Grand Prairie. It make for some great curling, and we really do hope people come on out to watch. Big games coming up tomorrow, and of course the playoffs on Saturday and Sunday for the big trophy at the end of the week on Sunday.
Yeah, so like we said, top 3 will advance to the playoffs. There's 8 strong teams. There's a couple teams who are most likely eliminated, but it's still pretty much wide open here, I would say, here on the women's side. It could change around as we're coming down the final day, and that draw coming in from ours a little bit deep, and looks like they're going to play that run back on that top central guard for Arsenault.
Right now at this point in the week, really 3 losses, really depending on the combination, it makes it a little bit difficult to make the playoffs. You really have to be in that 5-2, 6-1, or 7-0
echelon. Yep.
There may be possibilities of tiebreakers. You never know. It depends on how everything goes down, and I don't want to bore our viewers with the potential scenarios that I've already seen.
But they are going to run this one back and remove both shots, and it will hit off the yellow one. So at the end of it, it's going to be Arsenault sitting 1 here, but Team Dwyer still has a run back there themselves, but they got to avoid the jam, because if they do jam, they could be in a lot of problems themselves.
There is that run back is very difficult because you do have to avoid the jam. There is the possibility also of
hitting and rolling over. There's a hit and roll over on those 2 left stones, I think, as well.
The stones are very lively. So if you go for the hit and roll, I do see that it could move over and get shot stone. So Emily does have a big shot, and she'll really need to come up big for her team with her first of 2.
She does have hammer here in this end, so keep in mind. As we're here setting up as she's in the hack for her first of 2 stones. Again, a lot of rocks in play as we started out coming from the break. low right now. It's got a curl. It's hanging a little bit out there. It looks like this one might just go right onto the nose, and it will. Just a little bit of a roll. And it's going to come out into the open. Fourth. Looks like third shot right now.
I think Marianne will probably be fine with protecting.
Yeah, with a guard here.
Position.
Yeah, protecting. You're in a good position to steal one here. The blue stone's not going to be able to. It's going to be tough to remove. But again, if Dwyer is able to do a run back, all of a sudden she could be seeing 2, maybe 3. So she's got to look at both cases. What type of shots do Dwyer have? Does Dwyer have in this circumstance, and what do I want to cut off?
Yeah, in the situation here, there are the option of playing the tap of the yellow stone outside the house, or you also have, there is a very, very slight slash dub, a very, almost like a tap angled over to get out at the end with one. But for Marianne, it's actually a better shot for her to go now to slash double out those 2 and maybe have a chance to sit possibly 5.
Yeah, that is possible. But
it's there.
Yeah, but speaking of comebacks, we look over on sheet number 5. We have a tie game over there.
Yeah, so Teresa Breen picking up singles in the 5th and 6th, all tied up at 5 apiece. After Colleen Pinkney had a huge start with a 4 in the first end. So again, now a tight game for the 2015 runners-up in this event, trying to solidify a chance at making the playoffs. And a quick update as well over on sheet number 2. Christy Gamble makes the draw to the 4-foot with backing to score 1 in the 6th end of play, up 6-1 on Colleen Jones. Christy Gamble, my former coach and a first time here as a skip, really playing well against the veteran Colleen Jones.
So Arsenault with a great guard right there, blocking off that run back attempt I was looking at earlier, and it looks like they're gonna have to make a play off of the blue stone on the right side. It's gonna be have to hit this very narrowly on the angle to get over and hit off that blue stone on the button. It's gonna be a very tough shot coming in here for Emily Dwyer, but if she is able to get that one, they'll be sitting 3, but if not, it could be facing maybe more than going steal of 1 here. So
yeah, I think with where the position is now, as long as there's not a catastrophic miss, I think the worst that Emily has is a steal of 1. But if she makes it perfect, you could see it a two to really put a big lead in this game. Critical shot in the 6th.
Yeah, and a huge crowd has developed around us. Try and watch this final shot here in this 6th end for Emily Dwyer. She does have hammer up by 1, but going against a very tough single Arsenault stone to remove.
So final stone trying to angle double. Dwyer calling on the sweepers.
Gets it 1.
Gets it, and
it's enough. It's enough. She did it. She's able to hold on to it, and she gets her single here. Unbelievable shot. They didn't even plan that. They didn't think that was going to happen that way, but it does, and she's able to pick up her single here in 6. And a nice little plan B worked out there for Emily Dwyer, and she'll now take the lead 4-2 over Marianne Arsenault here at the 2016 Nova Scotia Scotties Tournament of Hearts. And John, you're just astonished after that shot.
Honestly, it was there for the angle, but I didn't think that I thought that she could get 2, but to get 1 of that, you could. It's very difficult because you did want to get a multiple point and you could have gotten it there, but it's much easier to score 2 than it is a 3. So
You know what? I got to give them credit, though. Were able to pick up that single there.
Yes,
It wasn't
definitely.
an easy shot. And that one just didn't curl, that one for them. But because they tried to come in on the inside and had their Yellowstone come in. But instead they got the blue, and it worked out at the end for them. So it is a single as they're going to get things going off here in the 7th end with the lead. Kennedy getting us started here with a draw right in and probably to the top, just touching the top of the 4. Ash will be top 8, but again, right on the center line as she's been doing all game long, setting themselves up for good position. And Arsenault, really, if she wants to get it back in this game, she has to look towards getting a deuce here, I would think.
Yeah, so Marianne's just going to call on Jennifer Baxter to set up the corner guard, create some offense in this game, and she'll just attempt to place it perfect. And again, Jennifer has been curling extremely well, so I would have no doubt that she'll place it just perfect to where Marianne wants it.
Yep, no, nice little corner guard being played there. And very likely we'll see a response with the central guard being played. So these two teams playing a little bit more differently than we saw at the beginning, because we saw at the beginning not many rocks in play, but now we're starting to see a lot of rocks and a lot of strategies having to be brought in. And of course, you can always join in on the conversation on Twitter. Let us know what you're thinking about the game so far. Where can they do that, John?
So they can use the hashtag NSCurl on Twitter. Send us your questions, comments, where you're tuning in from. We'd love to hear from you. Hashtag NSCurl on Twitter.
Thank you very much for that. As we're trying to see if they can get that nice little finish onto that high guard. And it's going to come in just a little bit more, and a beautiful guard being played there. That one's completely buried, and a beautiful shot there from Kennedy.
Yeah, great shot. But again, it does. Right now, Jennifer is going to come around her own.
Yeah, she's gonna come around her own. She's just gonna ignore the two in the house. As Arsenault realized she needs a few rocks in play in order to pick up her two. Because after this one, we won't be surprised to see Dwyer just remove that guard.
Of course, after this rock, the free guard zone rule would not give the protection for the stone. The stones at the front of the house area. So now it looks like Emily's going to put up another guard.
Yeah, she's going to play she's going to play a second central guard there on top. So she's not even going to peel away and be the aggressor herself. So you know what? I'm up by 2 right now. I'm in a pretty good position. Let's just add another central guard here and make Arsenault be the one who will chase her.
She's also trying to look at the skills of the person throwing, because Jane is strong with the upper weight ability, making big weight takeouts or run backs. And if you give the opportunity at a medium distance run back like that, as it just overcurls.
Just overcurled, yeah, got over that center line there, yep.
And it looks like Marianne will give the opportunity for Jane to throw the run back to attempt to take out both the guard and the yellow of Team Dwyer's in the house.
Pretty straight shot here. So it's very easily that if you do go nose, it will keep it around, but we'll have to wait and see. Coming in here is Snyder, rocking the Blue Jays cap. And she is able to remove both two stones. And they're saying that's the importance of having that extra high guard being in a proper position. That overcurl allowed that access, John.
Yeah, and again, you see there the fact that this very fast ice has that great finish of the stones at the very end. It does force the players out there on the ice to get that perfect weight control, because with just that little bit more, it caused the overcurl and made that shot possible.
Yeah, they try to curl around on the blue and realized, well, we're not going to get it through. Let's get it through the port instead and get this one buried in, and it's just going to be a little bit on the hot side, and it's just going to go all the way to the back 4. Now Marianne's asking, can you see the stone? And I think Jane said, yep, I can see it. So she's going to probably come down right in with a backline weight. Very nice. Try to get through that port between those two guards over on the left side and remove that Yellowstone in the house. And probably keep the shooter as well and have them sit in too. Just an easy clean right now. Really hard, gotta keep it.
Oh, and it's just gonna overcurl.
Yeah, it did, and it's gonna bounce around some stones. And the middle is open. That's the most important thing, though. The middle is opened up a little bit for Arsenault, and I won't be surprised if they'll play another stone over on the top side, but instead it looks like they're gonna drop behind the two guards over on the left side of your screen. So Dwyer's gonna try and sit 2 in this situation.
So yeah, really up by 2. Emily has nothing to lose to try to even if she's leaving the stone open of hers at the back of the forefoot. If she's able to get one buried even more, it does tighten up where Marianne can get the score.
Yeah, this one looks a little bit hot though, and it's got to slow down a bit. So they're just gonna try and wait for it to curl. And this one's going to come in right over onto the top 4. It's going to be exposed, though. Maybe it was a little bit outside on that one on the delivery because that one just did not come in until very late. And this has an opportunity here, an open hit here for our remove that Yellowstone. She can maybe even get to 2 of them, but it won't be that simple, I wouldn't think, John.
No, I think that if she just gets a little bit of a roll, she will have to work a little bit on her stones to create a multiple point, and as it just starts to really took off there.
It took off, and then when they did jump on it, and a little bit of a fortunate bounce there, and it goes in for a second shot. Everyone here is just laughing at that one there, and didn't expect that. You know what, that's curling for you when you have a bunch of rocks in play, and it took off some fortunate bounce and somehow found itself in a very good position for Arsenault, and won't be surprised if Dwyer just tries to pick that one out and go in between.
I think she's trying to come in and almost get a roll of her own, so that because then it would force Marianne to have to make to have to call a double or a triple, which could have a lot more of a degree of difficulty. So
hard right here on the line, really hard. Really, they want to avoid the jam, and he does hit it off of it, but it won't be enough so it hits off the nose. So they are just able to hold on to it in time, because it would have been very difficult for them if that blue rock went right into the nose of the yellow and hung around there. The main problem now is that those 2 stones are very straight on, so it will have to take a lot more weight to get to pop back around without being open in the end. Yeah, but I feel like their goal is to get the value. At least
get the 2.
Yeah, get the 2, get the value, so go right in the middle. Comes in, removes one. Is it enough for a second? Schneider is going to try and take this one in, and it's going to hang around in the back 12. And I don't know which one is shot stone right now here, John.
It is close because of the camera, the angle. We just can't tell.
They don't even seem too sure themselves.
Yeah, depending on what Emily thinks on which one is shot stone, it will determine really what she will want to throw. So she's going for the hit, so obviously she believes as if that stone is shot stone.
Yep. So she's going to play on that hit and roll behind that blue guard. And Katrina's going to look at it. She's just going back and forth. Want to make sure of that one before they shoot, but it looks like it is. So Emily taking her time in the hack, describing the type of shot she wants to her sweepers right now. Always important to have that constant communication and let those sweepers know exactly what the shot is and where they want it to start to break.
So first of 2 from Emily, trying to just get that little hit. Oh, it's just taking off there.
Yeah, and she is able to get that rollover, and a beautiful shot there from Emily. Gets the rollover all the way over to the outside, and look at that one, buried perfectly in behind the guard. What a shot.
Yeah, so that shot now will force Marianne on her first to try to almost draw down to it. If she's able to straight freeze, if not just a corner to where she'll be sitting shot stone, it would force a play out of in order to not give a chance at 2 points. So the big thing will be placement of this stone.
It definitely will, because this is a huge draw attempt. If they leave it on the open, Dwyer will be able to hit it out and sit to and force Arsenault to a single, and that looks here for when you don't have the hammer. Force a team with hammer to get 1.
So here we go with Marianne Arsenault.
This one, it looks a little bit outside right now. It's got to come back in.
But again, we'll probably see now, just as it starts to come towards center line, it does hook a lot. But the way,
this one,
there you go. It just starting to bend down. There, will it be enough? And it looks like it just settled in enough. A little bit behind this, where they wanted to be, but still decent shot for Marianne Arsenault.
So now the decision is, do they want to just follow that one down, sit on top and get that shot stone? Or do they want to maybe run everything back and move those 2 stones and get rid of them?
The danger with the possibility of running it back is that you do risk, if you're tight, maybe taking out your own, or just going right by and opening up the draw, making that easier. So she'll probably be coming in on the same side as Marianne, just tighter, trying to just take out,
bump it back.
Just bump back the stone. Maybe
like,
send it right through to sit 3.
Like a hack weight maybe here on this one.
Yeah, maybe hack or bumper almost.
Okay. So I have to wait and see. So trying to see, since that did roll off, it's always important. You want to get, when you get up to this one, to get that corner on it. So if you do bump it, take out the yellow stone. But this one, since it's right next to each other, they are able to remove this blue stone and not interfere with their own yellow. But we've seen how much it's been breaking off the center line. They got to be able to hold that line.
Yeah, this one will be really helped by the sweepers. As we have seen, it does bend a lot off of the center line. So big shot needed from the skipper, Emily Dwyer.
And this one right out of the hands.
Yeah,
right out of the hands. Are hard onto this one. Proctor and Kennedy by the guard, now able to get in another beautiful shot. 2 great shots coming in from the skip, and she's able to get rid of the blue stone. And Marianne pretty much has no other choice. She's got to follow it down, do the exact same shot, hit and stick, and she can only get 1 here this end, John.
Yeah, very unfortunate there for Marianne. Again, that shot was there simply just in the fact that if she had been a little bit higher up and a little bit closer to the stone of Team Dwyer's, it would have given more options for them. But again, as we always say, that the game of inches, just that little bit too much was the difference, which now leaves Team Dwyer sitting 3, forcing Marianne to the single.
See how the other sheet's already on the next end. This game is slowed down a little bit on the pace because of the rocks in place. Needed much more strategy, as this one seems to be coming in. Just an easy, clean. Gets the hit, no problem there, and she does get her single this end here, so she'll cut down the lead now to 4-3 after 7 ends, but the hammer will go back towards Team Dwyer at the 2016 Nova Scotia Scotties Tournament of Hearts here at the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax, Nova Scotia. You're watching Sheet 4 action between Marion, Arsenault, and Dwyer, which both will be back in action tomorrow at noon. Arsenault will be going against Colleen, Emily Dwyer going against Christy Gamble. You can catch that at noon tomorrow as they're rounding down these round robin games. Just 2 games after this one left. It feels like yesterday we just started this whole tournament, John.
Yeah. And I suppose just quickly as we get started with this 8th end of play, we should take a quick thank our sponsors. Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Scotties, a great sponsor this year, a longtime supporter of women's curling in Canada. Gold sponsor Tim Hortons. Silver sponsor Deloitte, and bronze sponsors New Scotland Clothing Company, Monaghan, Mott's Clamato, Sobeys, Kent, and the Printing House. Again, it takes a lot of financial support to run a major event like this, and we're all very thankful of the support of the sponsors who make events like this happen.
Thank you very much for that, John. As we're going to get things going away here at this 8th end. Dwyer does have hammer, as Arsenal will choose to play that center gird, and right away Kenny's just going to draw this one in. And what's the strategy right now? You have hammer up by 1. What are you going to try to do here in this end? Try to get as many rocks in the house, corner guards? How do you normally play here, John?
Really, in this case, when you're up by 1 with the hammer, you can afford to try to play more into the house. And pile the shots in and make it a lot more difficult for a Marianne to remove anything and just keep piling in the count. But again, Marianne is going to like playing a lot more rocks in play because it will force some errors out of Dwyer.
And that was a funny little mishap there. Dwyer's telling her team to sweep, and they seemed like taken back for a second. Wait, what a second. Oh, we didn't realize we were this close to the guard, and they jumped on it. That little hesitation, that was a funny reaction from Team Dwyer. As Arsenal will try to see if Baxter can try to follow this one down, get in behind both of them, and they're going to sit in very nicely. A nice little draw played in there from Baxter.
And great. That was great weight from Jennifer to come around right behind the double guard. I believe it is completely buried, so it will force a lot more draws this end and to try to get at that area in the.
So Kenny's going to try and go over to the right, or you're currently your left of the rock. So you just want that one on the full 8. So they want to kind of get it on the corner of the blue rock. And so right exactly where the broom is right now. I was going to say almost exactly where the broom was, right to the corner, so they can use it as an angle later on. Great shot there from Kennedy. And Arsenault's going to just go with the hit and roll here. So they're probably would have liked it a little bit curled, probably a little more, so if they do run it back, it would have jammed against the blue, but since they got a straight nose hit, it won't be able to remove, right, John?
Yeah, I don't think that there will be much of an issue now, because here looks like just going to get maybe a little bit of a roll. I don't know. It's just getting by 1 by 2 and right over. We'll pop out the side.
It will pop out the side because that was just so narrow. They did a great job just holding that line there, making sure that they do the important thing, remove the yellow. So Dwyer's just going to say, all right, hit off both even, and go and remove both these blue stones in the house with Proctor, who can throw that up weight.
Yeah, the flat double is there, and again, with how lively the stones are, it does create a major chance for Team Dwyer to sit 1-2 if they're able to get this shot.
Hard on this one. Get one and just the one. They had to really keep that line there. It really was breaking, but they are able to get one and pop the blue stone poking at the other side. So, but we have a crazy scoreline over there, and sheet number 5, a third straight steal for Teresa Breen, and she's now taking the 1-point lead over Colleen Pinkney over on sheet number 5, a third straight steal. Unbelievable.
And the other story that we have been watching on sheet number 2, a blank in the 7th end as Christy Gamble is up 6-1 on Colleen Jones. Though Christy is currently sitting at 0-4, she's certainly having the chance to potentially play spoiler with the undefeated Colleen Jones so far.
Definitely, and we'll have to keep on that. And it's possible that both these undefeated teams could lose here on this evening, and we go into a very crazy playoff scenario tomorrow, where every game could mean playoff implications. So second guard being played there, and we're going to start to see these knockaways of the coming in from Proctor. Right out of the hand. Hard on this one. It's going to hit the nose and jams against it. They're hoping to get the blue one in the back, and that's not the result that they were looking for there. They're hoping for a peel, but instead they got the nose.
Yeah, definitely not what they were looking for. Leaving that stone at the top of the 12, it does create issues for Dwyer, because if you're able to pile a lot of rocks in without the hammer, it creates a lot more difficulties for you with the hammer in the end of the end. So a little bit of a costly miss from Team Dwyer.
So Arsenault's going to use this one to continue the pressure on, see if she can even force a steal in this end.
So Christina Black with the throw on here as we go on to Mate Stones.
Just going to cut off that left side. So the most important thing, the middle is covered for Arsenault too. So Dwyer's going to have to play a rock on some of these stones and hope for it to maybe she can get some value into remove 2. And this one will come in around right onto the center line. And Dwyer has no other option. See, she's got to get away some of these guards out on top. But she does have the option of running back her own too, if she needs to.
Yeah, that looks like what she's going to do now. There is the possibility that depending on where.
Yeah, this is
just
appeal.
peeling it
this
out.
Is
okay.
appeal. This is appeal.
Looked like similar line to what we've seen in the past with run backs in that area, but still leaves the one stone outside and gives the opportunity for Marianne to guard her first and second shot stones a little bit more than where they were with the other guard. So
yeah, they're going to be placing a guard over on the left side of the center line, it looks like. Kind of Christmas tree, the yellow guard.
To me, you almost want to put it right just above the L in Deloitte, just outside that house, maybe a little bit higher. That's
exactly where they wanted. That's where Arsenault put the broom down. She wants to block off the left side. So reality is she's saying, you know what, you want to do the run back? You can go right ahead. But she blocked off any access over on the left side to get a double. So looks like she's going to have to do a play on those 2 high guards. So a great guard being played on the left side. Just a clean right now. Looks like they're just going to knock away that blue one and off the yellow and hope to sweep over that blue stone. And it's actually going to fall into the rings. That took a really weird turn and it just went. And so now it's Marianne Arsenault sitting 4 here, John.
Yeah, that was a costly miss there from Team Arsenault. They really couldn't afford to have that one moving into the house, so now sitting 4. So
So the question is now, what do we guard? Where do we put this? Where do we put this guard? Probably
honestly,
to the center line here, maybe.
Either you put it on the center line, or if she really wants to play extremely gutsy, she could almost move draw in again, move around a few of the angles, because as a skip going into your final stones, it's a lot more mental difficulty when you're seeing 5 stones of the other team's color at the other end.
Yeah, I can understand that. So we'll have to see. Didn't see indication what the call was, but we'll see, judging by the amount of weight she'll throw here. So this is a guard.
So yeah, Jennifer Baxter just bringing it in as Jane Snyder picks it up as well.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to put that guard over on the center line.
Yeah, that makes sense simply because of the fact that there is a double was there before the guard was put just on the left side of center line on those 2 stones at the edge of the 8 as another timeout called from Team Dwyer.
So that's their second and final timeout of this game. And right now they got to figure out how do we cut down this damage here. In reality is they don't want to give up a steal here. They don't mind even just getting their single here and hammer based on what's right in front of them. I wouldn't think, John.
Honestly, Team Dwyer will really have to think about where to play. I suppose we may see Coach Mark Brophy come out and give a little bit of wisdom to the team.
Yep. And I think I saw another steal over on sheet number 3, so I think it was a steal of 1. So I think we have a tie game over on our other feature station between Brothers and McAvoy. And McAvoy's brought it back with a big 3-point end and then a couple little steals, and it's a tie game.
And another story that we were looking on with the game on sheet number 5, a big 3-point end from Colleen Pinckney in the 8th end to lead 8-6 after 8 for Teresa Breen, last year's finalist, in a battle after stealing the ends 5 through 7.
So you know what, Pinckney is able to pick it back up again, and she's got that 2-point lead. So we'll have to see if she'll be able to hold on to it. Because if Breen drops this one, she's in a lot of trouble throughout the rest of the round robin, I would think.
Yeah, again, as we said, being 2-2 right now, she really can't afford to lose the third. So she's really going to be going hard to try her deuce in the next, in the 9th end, being played as we speak. So she can really get back in the game.
So it looks like the decision was made, and they're playing. It looks like they're going to play some form of a takeout. We don't know what yet, but we'll figure it out. Looks like they're playing off the blue stone on the left side.
In the spot there, it looks like they're probably going to go for the double, because with the position that the stone of Team Arsenault is biting the edge of the forefoot, and where that stone right beside the broom is, it really blocks any way of getting into the button. So playing this double,
Get that, whoa. Hoping to get it because they want a little bit of a roll. And just going to go right on the nose and a slight roll over.
They hit it a lot thicker than what they had hoped. Yeah. So, again, a little bit of a miss from Emily Dwyer. So
the question now is, Arsenault, do we want to just come the Yellowstone? Do we want to draw one in? Do we want to guard it up?
It looks as if she is considering going for a slight bit of a draw, or
maybe a second guard even.
maybe a second guard to really force a pressure draw to the forefoot from Emily Dwyer.
Really,
so
I don't know if you can get a full four. It'll be a very wide one.
You would really have to get a lot of finish on the left-hand side of your screen coming around your own.
Or you'd have to do a very finesse tap-up on your yellow. There's those couple options, but not too many for Team Dwyer, as they're up by 1, but they're in a lot of heat against this very strong Arsenault team here in this 8th end.
Of course, Marianne has been strong for years on the circuit, so she has the experience, which is really holding her through this match against the full team Dwyer. As we see this final stone from Marianne. Just coming into the house, so
give a little bit of a bump. So they want to bump it up, they're preventing the tap up there.
Yeah, it prevents the tap up, makes the draw a lot more difficult, and almost forces you to play a hit.
Yeah, I don't know if there is a draw anymore. That's the only option I see. You know, run that up. Who knows? Maybe we get one. We could steal one. Yeah, just hold them down to 1 here.
Yeah, I don't even think you get a score for Team Dwyer. I think this is just now limiting the damage. So
well, who knows? It's maybe depending on what angle, because if they hit it on the angle, and they can get between the 2 blue stones and get right on it.
It's very sharp.
It's a sharp
angle,
one, but
it could be there.
Yeah.
The thing that they at least have to do is get contact with the stone in the top 8 foot, just behind the stone that they have, because if they even came on the inside of the center of the stone and punch it out, it would be a steal of 3 and a huge change. So really critical.
If the yellow one gets punched out, it could be even 4, but we'll have to wait and see. Final stone here in the 8th end. Very important shot for Emily Dwyer. She's got her team out of trouble once. Can she do it again? Needs it a curl. Can she do it? And she did it, and I called it right there.
You called it.
And she is able to do it. She found the hole in between the 2 blow stones, and she saves her team out of trouble there. Unbelievable shot. That's been one of the best shots I've seen all tournament long there from Emily Dwyer, and she gets the single there to hold her lead now to 5-3 over Marianne Arsenault. Unbelievable, John.
Again, I guess it does go show. Originally on my notes, I had Marianne, the clutch player, but now you also see Emily Dwyer really also showing how clutch of a player she can be, coming up big when her team needed it most. She was facing a chance to giving up
3, 4, so many points.
At least 3, and now she gets her single. So Marianne will now have to go really hard to try to get the deuce here in deuce or 3 here in 9.
And you know what? How much does that do mentally and that momentum going on in this game? Because right there, if after that shot, I'd be feeling like I can do any type of shot anytime. Give me anything, I can do it.
Well, it's definitely a good for the mental game for Team Dwyer, but as well, it also is an issue mentally for Team Arsenault. Not as much, though, because of their experience. They have been in these situations before of having to climb out from deficits like this after big shots, having faced top-notch shot makers like Rachel Holman and Jennifer Jones at the national level. So it really may not be as much of a factor as we think, but still it is big.
The most important thing is those on the scoreboard right now. It's a 2-point lead, and Arsenault really needs a deuce here, because if she gets forced to a single here with a hammer, the chances of her getting another point are very slim. But anything can happen here. as we'll have to see. Can Team Dwyer close it out?
A quick little update of one of the stories that we have been watching on sheet number 2. Colleen Jones takes a single in the 8th end, but still trails Christy Gamble of the Mayflower 6-2. So again, potential upset for the undefeated Colleen Jones so far.
Yep, and it looks like we're going to see as that guard comes in, and I don't think they wanted that one into the rings, and it does unfortunately fall in. So that's going to allow a hit and roll attempt coming in for Baxter.
Yeah, Jennifer's been really good at showing how versatile she is of playing not just your stereotypical lead shots, but also the very almost similar to what the average role of a second usually is, but just unfortunately doesn't to get it to where she wanted it.
And now right away, Dwyer said, you know, I don't want anything out. I'm just going to start peeling away these rocks. I don't want any rocks in play. I've had enough of all these rocks in the house.
Yeah, up by 2, you really don't. The stones of Team Arsenault are dangerous for you, so she'll just go to town, peeling everything in sight.
And this one looks like they come up with a little plan B there. Try to get the peel on the top guard, and it just didn't curl enough, so instead they just remove that second blue stone and roll in behind.
Again, there, as we've mentioned about these provincial rocks, really lively. As you saw there, though it did hit pretty thick on the stone, it did have enough to get behind the guard. Decent shot from the Dwyer rink.
So that's going to allow Snyder now to try and see if she can draw in to the corner of the yellow stone in the house. This one's close, they're saying, and now they're jumping on it. They get this one by. Both of them get right up to the corner, and they'll give it a little bit of a bump and fall on the button. And that little bump makes all the difference because now it's wide out there in the open. They're hoping, I think, John, to get right in the corner and just stop there.
Yeah, I think that would have been the better result. So leaving it out in the open is definitely more of a miss. But we'll see as it goes on. All depends on if Emily's team can keep up with the takeout.
So they're able to get right onto the nose hit coming in from Proctor. And that's going to go on top 4, and Marianne's just going to do another hit and roll here attempt to try and see if she can get that blue rock under cover. Really, if you're just tuned into the game right now, John, how would you team so far here? 8 ends. This has been a great game here.
Yeah, it's been a great game. It seems like Team Dwyer is really stepping up their game, really curling well against the veteran Team Arsenault, who are defending champions in the event. And again, game story would be Emily, the clutch player, really coming up big with that single in the 8th end.
And she came with another huge single earlier as well. I think it was in the 5th end. What it was, or 4th end?
I think it was the 6th.
Yeah,
that one just after the break.
Yeah, it was just at the 6th end. Correct. You are correct. Yeah, another big shot there. So coming down towards us, 2 huge shots. And I know you before the game, you kept those keys to the game. How have they been doing so far?
Honestly, my keys to the game got completely thrown off because of the clutch play that Emily's been showing. She's really been curling well against Marianne, not just as a team, but also head-to-head, really holding her own against Marianne.
So a nice little peel there. And very nicely, too, they wanted that little bit of a bump, too, on their Yellowstone. They wanted to knock it to the side so it wasn't covering the blue stone. And Marianne's just going to have to draw right up to that blue stone and hope that they don't remove it.
And up to the stories that we've been watching on sheet number 5, Teresa Breen takes a 2-point end in the 9th to tie it all up 8-8. Coming home, Team Pinckney has the hammer.
All right, so keep an eye on that. So Breen really needs a steal in 10 to avoid going to that third loss. So that's been a back and forth game. Some big ends for Pinckney and a bunch of little ones for Breen. But it shows those big ends really come back and haunt you.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the 10-end format, you really, though you can afford to give up maybe one big point end earlier in the game, it gets more costly as you get on through later in the game, giving up 2s and 3s or even more, as we've seen it not just in these games tonight, but also earlier in the week.
And a beautiful corner freeze played there from Black, right on the corner, and you're gonna have to throw some up weight to try and see if you can move around these stones, probably for Dwyer. So she's looking at which way she's gonna come in here. She's already used both of her timeouts as well. How are they doing on the clock as well? I think they're doing they're doing all right.
They have just under 8 minutes. Really, in thinking time, you should be playing about 4 to 4.5 minutes per end. So not too bad. They do still have a lot of time to talk about the shots. Emily is a very decisive skip from what I've seen. So she oftentimes, unless she's really puzzled, she's probably not going to take lots of time to really decide.
So kind of like a peel on their own guard here, you can really say. And the shooter will roll all the way to the other side of the 12-foot there. And Arsenault has 2 stones sitting first and second, but there's no cover. And Marianne's got to make a decision, and she's going to use her timeout now to try and decide what their next shot's going to be in this situation. So probably Coach Peter Corkum is going to come out here and help them out on this next shot here, because you can add a guard, but probably get removed away, or there's going to be other options, or do you want to take out into 3?
And big final score on sheet number 2, an upset, a incompletion there as Christy Gamble scores 2 in the 9th end to defeat Colleen Jones. Big upset as Christy Gamble of the Mayflower jumps up to 1-4, spoiling the undefeated record of Colleen Jones, the former Canadian champ. It makes the match tomorrow between Jones and Arsenault even more critical should Arsenault drop this match.
Unbelievable. That's crazy.
As we now see Peter Corkum, the coach for Team Arsenault, out to discuss this shot.
So right now, what are the different options you see here? They can try and bump everything back, remove the Yellowstone on the back right, just do a straight hit on the Yellowstone if they want, or guard, or draw in for a third one. What do you like here, John?
I think from here, I know where the position offhand is of the stone at the top of the 8 versus the one just behind T-line, but around now, with it being that you're on your second stone of Christina's, you probably want to protect these stones that you already have with another guard, or maybe as they're showing, put one in the back to sort of split it, force Team Dwyer to make the big shot.
And Team Pinckney's in a little bit of trouble right now. Missed a couple peels here, and Teresa Breen has an opportunity to go for the steal here in 10 over on sheet number 5. We'll keep an eye on that.
And also blank in our other feature game here on Bellline TV1 with Team Brothers and McAvoy 9. So Team Brothers will have the hammer in the 10th, all tied up at 6 apiece.
So crazy games here to finish off, and that's what you expect as you start to wind down this tournament here. Just all these teams are so close, so many great games here, and I would like to thank everyone who's tuned in for all these matches here. But can you believe it? All the games are coming home. We're still in the 9th end here, John.
Yeah, just coming down to the wire. All these teams are really now at the point where earlier in the week they're playing for a position to really start off the tournament. Now they're really starting to formulate their plans that will get them in good spot in the playoffs.
Now it looks like they tried to draw and split the rings, but that one come up a lot light there, a lot light. Marianne tried to even come in and help on the brush, and that's a little bit of a mistake. So now we're gonna see that Team Dwyer is gonna make a play on those 2 blue stones.
The problem is with how the stone that they have just behind the tee line and how frozen the 2 stones are of Team Arsenault. I don't really see that you can get both of them out, even if you use your shooter, because like let's say you hit this one right on the nose, because of how tight the 2 stones are together. Even with how lively the rocks are, the top stone's probably going to go behind the guard in the house that's just in the 12-foot, and the other one is probably going to go into your own. So it will make for a difficult shot. We'll see what Emily throws on this one.
So some thrown here. Whoa. Bauer's calling them off. Gonna move it around. Where's everything gonna end up here? So the area able to move 1.
Okay, moved a lot more than what we had thought. Just a zone of Team Arsenault's going to the back of the 8-foot. So again, it will all come down to where Marianne can.
But you know what, though? The thing is, though, that there was a jam over, so all of a sudden Marianne just has to remove this yellow stone, and she's sitting in hit and stick, and she's sitting 3 here. And, so
yeah.
there's that possibility. I almost forgot about that one.
Yeah, definitely almost forgot about that option. They want to be careful not to roll too far and make a double or even maybe a triple become available. So I look to maybe see a Team Arsenault roll that just a little bit behind the guard. Not completely buried, but still enough that it doesn't give a shot to take out all 3.
Well, it is a big shot for Marianne Arsenault regardless. Just a hit and stick roll would be preferred for her. Trying to force Dwyer to see if she can pull another one out of the rabbit hat and see if she can cut this down.
So here we go, Jane Snyder with the sweep, trying
really
to
hard,
really work it.
Yeah, and it's going to catch the edge. Where's the roll going to happen?
It rolled just a bit, just too far, because now if you, it looks like it to me. You can go right on the nose, get a double, and have the chance to get out of this end a little bit.
Yeah, and have a tie game with Hammer coming home. That'd be a preferred situation, I would take.
Yeah, definitely a good situation for Team Dwyer. But again, she to make the shot perfect. If she happens to punch out the stone on the button and miss the stone at the back 8, she could give up a multiple point end. So still, though it's a simple shot on paper, in the actual execution, she'll really have to be careful to get this stone just perfect.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was a little bit too risky there to try and draw in on top, I would think, and freeze. That would have been a very risky through call, but they got to go really hard the entire way here. Really hard.
And it will just punch over.
Just get the one.
So now Marianne has the option that if she goes the same type of way to take out that stone, you'll at least get the one. If you can get on the inside and still hold your shooter.
She's in a position to get 3 here.
Perfect position to get 3.
Yeah, I don't see how she doesn't get her 3 unless she messes up this shot. And it would take a lot to mess this one up, unfortunately.
And again, as we've said, though Emily's been curling extremely well, Marianne Arsenault, the experience in some of her execution at this game, really playing well.
So we'll have to see final shot here in the 9th end. Marianne Arsenault trying to move that Yellowstone, keep the shooter around as well to sit 3. They're saying it looks nice. All right, let's see where everything ends up.
And 1, 2, 3.
And there are 3 points there for Arsenault.
Big change of events there for the Arsenault team.
She has all of a sudden taken the lead here, 6-5 over Emily Dwyer coming into the 10th end. But Dwyer, keep in mind, does have the hammer in 10 coming home. Crazy, crazy stuff. We've already seen Dwyer. They've already had to play 1 extra end game. Man, the way these 2 teams are playing, I won't be surprised if we see another one here.
Yeah, I would not be surprised either if we're into extra time. So both teams will be going for a very strong 10th end.
But we'll get through everyone who's tuning in here on Belline TV1 at the 2016 Nova Scotia Scotties Tournament of Hearts. The undefeated Marianne Arsenault having her hands full with the 2-2 Emily Dwyer coming from the Mayflower Curling Club. And really, this has been one of the strongest games I've seen this entire tournament so far here in the Scotties.
Yeah, definitely a really strong game from both Team Arsenault and Team Dwyer. The youthful Team Dwyer really showing that they can stack up against the best of them in the Marianne Arsenault rink.
Yeah, definitely. So, you know what, this is only good positive steps forward for Team Dwyer. A lot of experience being built, and this is a team, if they stick forward a couple more years, they can be, if not this year, but a couple more, they can be one of the top forces here in Nova Scotia, I would think, if they keep playing the way they are here.
Well, they've already been a star team on the junior circuit, just moving up now into a few years back into women's play, having had a very strong career, getting to the Canada Games, finishing 4th when it was held here at the Mayflower back in 2011. So, again, this team is, if they don't get to the playoffs this year, they will be super strong in the years to come. Definitely a team to watch.
So corner guard again being played here. So Dwyer's going to do everything she can to pick up 2 here. This one is running a little bit tight. It's a tight guard there on the corner. And Arsenault's just going to play a central guard.
Yeah, Marianne's just going to want to protect as much as she can. If she has to move the stone a little bit to move down the scoring area, that would be still a possibility for her, but at least protect the one that you have already.
Yeah, John, whenever you take a second, take a look over on sheet number 5. I think we have a final shot over there, or one of the final shots there.
We're down to skip stones over on 5 with Colleen Pinkney.
That's a very, very packed area there. You can see it on the right of your screen right now. Trying to see if they can open up the middle.
Yeah, it does appear to be super close, but I think that Teresa Breen may be stone at the back of the button. So it will come down to a very crucial last 2 shots.
So we'll keep you updated over there as we come back over on our stage as well here, as Kennedy's going to try and come in. And this one it's anything, it's just going to hit right onto the nose of that blue stone.
Yeah, it's
and
just
bump it back.
It's just going to hit and roll the other way. So she also, if she was going to hit that, she was hoping more to move it right out of the house. So
she was hoping to curl a little bit more and get on the other side of the rock. So this is going to just leave over a hit and roll opportunity for Team Arsenault, and they're now going to try and see if they can get back under cover.
Yeah, so a good opportunity here from Team Arsenault with Jane Snyder just looking to hit and roll behind the guard. She's just going to
get that little roll there. Yep,
a little bit of a roll, not as much as she wanted.
Yeah,
but
she wants to get over the other side of the center line.
Yeah.
So that's going to leave another opportunity for Team Dwyer to try and hit and roll themselves. So it's board weight, you heard, being called for Proctor. So Proctor trying to get over to that rock. Needs to throw a little bit more, though. And it's just going to catch the edge of it. Can't get over on the inside. Could have maybe even got that blue stone in the back, but couldn't do so either. And it's just going to go out the other way, and they're just going to point and do the same shot that they just played here, John.
Yeah, again, similar area, similar result. So I get for a team, Arsenault with Jane Snyder, she'll just want to go again for the same shot, hit and roll.
Yeah, I'm looking over on sheet number 3. We have some craziness over there as well. So who said 10th end couldn't be exciting? As we have 3 exciting things about to happen here at this ladies' draw. So she is able to hit a little bit narrow though. And Dwyer's going to try and take this one back, and it's going to hit off the other blue. And we're kind of fortunate that that blue was there, I would think, because that one had the ability to go out. And now there's sitting 2 in the back 12.
Oh, quick second. We have final stone over on sheet number 5. It does appear to me from our position, but though it is super close, that there is a looks
we'll
like
have to wait and see. We'll wait.
It does appear to be 1 point, and the game don't who, but it to
looks
me
like
it does
appear
it is Teresa Breen taking the comeback to score 1.
So she stole 1 in 10.
Stole 1 in 10 to pick up the win. So big comeback from the finalists from last year to keep themselves in playoff contention.
And that's a huge one there. They do a great job there, does Team Dwyer, and now Arsenault will have to take a look at here to figure out which one is shot stone, and it's very close. I can't tell right now. Maybe the blue stone might be ahead, but again, they're double and checking. So we're not the only ones who think it's a very close one here.
So I guess when we have a second, I'll just I'll let people know that again tomorrow we have 4 draws of action starting at 8 a.m. Atlantic time here on Bellline TV1. We'll have feature games on sheets 3 and 4 again all throughout the day, with opening men's action in the East Coast Credit Union Tankard on sheet 3. Brent McDougall versus Jamie Danbrook. I will be bringing that to you on sheet 3, and on sheet 4. Glenn McLeod, the defending champion, with a chance to make the playoffs, with a crucial game against Paul Dexter, who is playing for Pride now after being knocked out of playoff contention. Also big game with Tom versus Adams and Murphy and Stevens, the battle of the top 4 in the East Coast Credit Union Tankard. So big final day of the round robin coming up tomorrow.
Like we said, if you are in the area, definitely come by. Spend the whole day here even, and we'll come here and watch all 4 of these amazing draws that are going to happen tomorrow as we round out those round robin stages.
So as we see the first of 2 from Christina Black.
Really hard on the brush. They got to get this one right by. They want to get in behind the yellow guard. Great job on the brush coming in from Snyder. And they are able to get this one by now. How far can they get it buried? And that's a great throw there from Black, I would think. But I think it was maybe about 3/4 might still be open, I would think.
Yeah, I think it is about 3/4 open, as you said. It definitely props to Snyder and Baxter. Really a strong effort on the sweeping, getting it every inch that they could.
And really, it seems like the 10th end that never seems to end over on sheet number 3 between McAvoy and Brothers. And they're both down to almost their final minute just to figure out a way to finish that one, as we just going to have what was attempted for a peel on the high guard just ended up being a little tick onto the top blue stone, but it is off the center line.
So now
yeah, guard here. What do you think?
Personally, I see Marianne's idea here that should they leave the stone there could be a possibility at a tap, but if she guards that, what do you leave the other team? And it all comes down to the position that Christina Black puts her second stone of this end.
Yeah, it looks like she's going to be playing a central guard here, trying to see if they run back attempt and close off any potential access for Team Dwyer. Through the middle.
There is a very a good potential that as long as they would try to take out the yellow stone of Team Dwyer's, they would
and that was
have sat a whole pile, but guarding that stone now gives great protection for the stone at the button.
And Dwyer's taking a look, saying, you know what, why don't we try and go through the hole and bump back our yellow into the blue? It's possible there that they're thinking.
Oh, and looks like final stones on sheet number 3. Our other feature game. Julie McAvoy, the skip over there, just going narrow missing.
And it looks like they're just going to have a second look here to measure up. But again, we have an important situation happening on our game as well. As again, Team Dwyer has used both of their timeouts here. Thinking of maybe going through all the top guards. Maybe if we can get a look at the full view here with the guards included, we can kind of see what the type of hole they're taking a look at here. So maybe I think they just decided this time isn't yet. Maybe save that for later. And it looks like they might just be knocking away that high guard that Black just played. Just based on where they put the broom. It looks like we have a measurement over on sheet number 3.
And that would be a measurement for the win. So that's very crucial for both Team Brothers and Team McAvoy.
So a little bit of a clear, and it hits off a couple rocks, but that guard does go outside, and so does the shooter, and most importantly, so the middle is wide open again, and won't be surprised Marianne right away puts the broom down. She's going to play a guard. So now we're down to these final 2 shots for each team here in this very tight and exciting game here of curling. Thank you everyone who's tuned in here on Bell Alliance TV1. Martin Ohms here, who's been giving you the commentary, and I'm doing my great color job here has been John Simon. Thank you very much, John, by the way. Doing a great job here today.
Great job yourself there, Martin. Thank you very, very much. And thank you to all the viewers for tuning in to this excellent match between Team Dwyer and Team Arsenault. Coming down right to these skip stones. big game with big implications on
display here. Yep. As here comes the guard coming in from Marianne Arsenault. They're saying it's 2, so a little bit high. Want to make sure it's just to the left of the center line. Got that little finish and beautifully placed there from Arsenault.
Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. There, just because of the fact that now Emily does not have access, get access to their stone at the top of the 8 to try to get a tap. So
it looks like they're trying it though. Looks like
they're going the other way, trying to go for the
blue stone, yeah.
the very low weight tap on.
Yep.
So you have.
You know what? She's been able to pull it out. You have one more shot. Let's try it now, before it gets closed down. Does Dwyer? You realize? You know what? Arsenault is going to if they clear that away, she's just going to play another guard, and we're going to have the same shot again. So why don't we just try it now and see if we can figure out something with our last shot?
Again, as we've said throughout the game, Emily has been coming up clutch every time her team has needed her, and now is probably the most important time so far this draw for her to hopefully come up big with a come around tap.
Whoa line, right? Whoa line.
Yeah.
Gonna wait for this one to come in.
It looks like it is extremely wide. Oh,
yeah, it just takes a little bit tip and it's gonna roll to the back.
The big problem now for Team Dwyer is the fact that now with that little bit of movement of that stone of Team Arsenault, it puts it even more buried than it was before, and there could be the possibility to put up another positional guard somewhere in between the two
high guards. Yeah,
in between the 2 high guards. So then it really. The only shot that you'd have would either be almost like a
angle off that yellow guard,
an angled
on the right, maybe.
Yeah, an angled shot at maybe a 45-degree angle. So it would be very difficult.
But she's gonna.
But again, the degree of difficulty seems to be the best part of Emily Dwyer's game so far tonight. So we'll see how it will go with the final 2 stones of this game. Both teams playing excellent in this matchup.
And it's a shame we have to have a winner here, John, eh? With the way the teams have played, it's just like they're both playing as if both of them should get this victory.
Well, we still, as they say, it's not over until the last stone's thrown. So we still have to remember there is the stone of Team Arsenault and of Team Dwyer to finish off this game. So Marianne will try to put a perfect guard.
Really hard though, you're hearing them. Wall line here.
It's actually pretty good position because it really chokes off that anything access the stone at the top of the 8-foot just biting. So now really if your team
they
try. What do you do?
They try to call a timeout and they realize, oh, wait a second, we don't have any timeouts left. So
and of course, down to a minute 50.
And
just under minute 50.
Yeah, they're looking at the only option I was pointing out earlier. They have that yellow guard there over on the right side, and they're going to have to do an angle off of that. I looked at that and I said, you know what, that's my only option I would play too.
Yeah, and it is big because should they get this, it would be for the win. If it would be a win for Marianne Arsenault. So
yeah, you predicted at the beginning of the game it would come down to this final shot of the game, and it's coming to fruition here, as it's going to be a big shot here for Emily Dwyer.
And as I said here, with Dwyer scoring in 4-6 ace, does show the power of having a hammer in the even ends. As we see final stone from Emily Dwyer.
So here she comes here. Let's try and see if we can listen in here. close, gets the run. Did she
Oh,
get it? She removes it.
Is
Ooh.
it enough? It may come.
I don't know which one was shot here now, but she does get the amazing shot there. She is able to remove the blue stone.
She does remove the blue stone at the button, but between the two stones at the top and at the back of the 8-foot may come down.
Are we playing an extra? Are we playing an extra?
It may come down to either a measure to give a win to Marianne Arsenault or a measure to send it's extra time, so they're going to call for the measure.
But another great shot there from Dwyer. She is able to get that angle, and that was an excellent shot there.
Phenomenal shot. Again, as we said, Emily, the clutch player, really coming up big once again for her team.
Unbelievable.
We'll see how this measure goes.
Unbelievable. Go down to a measurement of all things in the final line. That's just crazy. And that really describes this entire game, how close it's been, that it has to come down to a measurement of all things.
So here we go, the big moment. Will we be going one more? Will we be going to finish off the game? It will be the game. Marianne Arsenault picks up one in the 10th, and after a phenomenal shot from Emily Dwyer.
She tried, she got close, but when it came down the measurement, it was just not enough. And Marianne Arsenault, with that big 3-point and a 9, and with the steal in 10, has come down with a 7-5 victory. She'll remain the only undefeated team here at the 2016 Nova Scotia Scotties Tournament of Hearts. And I'd like to thank again all the viewers here on Bellline TV1, and to thank John again. John Siteman, thank you very much for coming on the air. We'll see you later. And for Martin Ohms, you've been listening here at the Mayflower Curling Club, sheet number 4, and how we're done for today. We can go home, get some sleep, but we're back here at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, so not much. So get to sleep, John.
See you tomorrow, everybody.
See you tomorrow.